Okay, hello everyone. My name is Cold Warp Gates, and I'm going to bring you today the first cast of regular season games for CPL Season 8. I'm hyped as hell for this. This is why I love CPL, this kind of content that we're about to watch. Now, the two teams that we're going to see today are Korean Mechanics and the United Emu. Well, already I blew it already. All right, the show's over, guys. No, it's Korean Mechanics against the United Emu Directorate, and we're going to look at the Tier 2 games today. You can see the players and their and their matches on the screen. A bit of a disclaimer: there's a problem with the replays for Simo against Mawthu. So hopefully those replays will get to me by the time we finish the other series. If they don't, I'll finish it probably on Thursday. I think that's everything I wanted to say. Let's get into the first games here. We're gonna watch GeforceTesla against grimZ. No, so Apple for Toast asks if I'll cast my in-games. No, it sounds like the worst thing I could ever do to myself. But half of the reason that I became a caster is like I cast all of the other games, and now the other casters have to cast my games if they want to cast something. But like casting your own games is just cursed. Alright, let's get into this game. Oh, thank you for the follow, Tech. And here we go in the top middle of Neosylphid. It's the Red Terran grimZ, or just grimZ, I don't know. And in the bottom right, in the green Protoss, it's GeforceTesla. And you know what? We've been looking at Polypoid and Eclipse for like it feels like months. We finally have other maps to look at. So we have Neosylphid. It was on the ladder in the past. It was in CPL for a long time. We took a break from it, and now it's back. I'm just so glad it's not Polypoid or Eclipse. I'm burnt out on those maps. We're going to see what these players choose to do here. So the things about Neosylphid, it is a 3-player map, so that has consequences for the late game. Like, you can't really split it completely fairly between 2 players. So if the game does go long, fighting over bases is a huge deal in just about any matchup. My favorite thing about Neosylphid is that like you have so much choice for where to put your third base, and that definitely will make a big deal in this game, because where Terran and Protoss choose to get their third just has like such a huge impact on the flow of the game. Now, it is also a relatively short rush distance on this map, so we do sometimes see early aggression builds, especially when you combine it with the fact that there's no ramp. It's just a flat choke here. But so far, it doesn't look like anything too wild from either of these players. Assume we're going to see something like a factory expand from grimZ. Probably, you know, some number between 21 and 28 Nexus from Tesla. Get to the more mid-game side of things. I saw Nebulime in chat, so he'll definitely appreciate having this a depot in the correct position relative to the barracks. So Tesla being annoying here with the SCV, actually getting a ton of damage, and I can't believe we've already done 40 damage. This SCV from grimZ trying to save his buddy here, but there's only 2 hits left on this SCV. Oh, he gets it. And the probe escapes. Gets away red-handed. Disgusting. Typical Protoss right there. Well, we're just seeing that first goon come out. Range is started for Tesla. Factory is on the way for grimZ. Won't be able to avenge their fallen brethren just yet. Are we going to see more goons, or are we going to see a Nexus off of one goon, which feels like very popular these days, and that is what it looks like we're going to see here. Oh, nope. Alright. That wasn't even caster curse, I just wasn't paying attention, if we're being familiar. So, this 23 Nexus, this, like, 2 goon expansion, is like the you know, the new hotness. I'm not so familiar with it. I've been told that it's somehow greedier than the 1 goon Nexus, I think because you don't get a second gateway. Which could make you in trouble if there is an early push. And we see more than 4 Marines here, as well as an early tank. So I think this is going to be an FD push here, which I have not seen in a long time. But it's a great build to bring out in the CPL because it's something that Protoss definitely has to practice against in order to survive here. And like when talking about, I mean, look, I still have trouble with it, but like in the tier 2 or tier 3, like the Protoss is gonna have a rough time against a well-practiced FD push here. But right now, these goons are bullying these Marines. For now, it seems like grimZ is way too scared here, honestly. Like I think 3 Marines beats a goon. I don't think you have to be scared when you have 6 Marines and a tank. But Tesla doing a good job here, getting some chip damage here and there, where they can. Definitely don't want to take too much hull damage on these goons. It's more important to keep your goons alive until you can get up to that critical count of 4. Oh, trying to lay this mine here. Tesla, oh, there we go. Picks off the mine. Could have been game-ending damage right there. Now the push is still coming, but these goons are doing a good job of staying alive, staying grouped together. We need that 4th goon here. Alright, you definitely don't need 2 cannons and a battery, but that's okay. A 1 goon does go down. I think grimZ should turn around here. Like, I think you just, like, lay some mines, get some map control. Definitely don't charge into the cannons. Oh no, the tank takes a bunch of free shots here. It's one goon shot away from death. Oh, the mine gets a goon, but the goons get the tank. And then a mine gets a goon, and then the Marines walk into the cannon. Alright, so that is going to allow both players to stay in the game. Normally, if Protoss kills all of the units in the FD, they feel pretty good. The fact that we got to forge 2 cannons and a battery is definitely more than you want to spend. But obviously, spending money is better than being dead. So, you can't blame too much for that. But I feel like definitely grimZ, if they had just recognized how much Protoss had spent, you know, you get here, you put some mines down, and then you just go home. And now Protoss can't hurt you at all until they have observers up. That's like the real goal of an FD push. If it kills the Protoss, that's great, but it absolutely does not have to. Look at this, we have Tesla gearing up for a 3rd here, but the Vulture is wisely placed to block it. There's just something innate about Terran players that they just know exactly where and when to put their Vultures. And look at that, the mine killed another goon. It's delaying this 3rd, it's keeping a Protoss on the back foot, and back at home, Terran is steadily building up their tank count, getting their tech, checking off everything on their little checklist here to head into a very strong mid-game. Tesla is, I don't know, Tesla has been traumatized by, like, Vulture run-bys or something. 3 cannons at your natural choke is definitely pretty extreme. But they're making a good use of it to get a very fast +1. I don't remember who it was There was some Protoss that I cast last season who every PvT they went for like a +1/+1 speed zealot push. It was like something straight out of StarCraft 2, and like it worked pretty well. So this upgrade, it could be pretty strong if there are some early fights here. Oh, so Grim is going up to 4 factories. We could be about to see like a 2 base +1 push from Terran, and if so, I think it's a very smart choice. I've said it before, like if something weird happens in the early game, if Protoss makes a mistake, or if they like are too greedy or tech too much, these kinds of 2 base pushes are so strong because Protoss like has to scout it, and they have to know exactly what to do, and it can be like a very short amount of time to react. So if they're already behind somehow, it's even harder for them to do it. And look, this first observer is pretty late here. You want this to get in the Terran main around 7 minutes. It's going to see all of these factories done. The tank count is pretty decent here. Going to start producing a few waves of vultures and then move out on the map shortly here. Now that +1 attack is done. There are going to be 5 gateways. You probably want like 7 to 8 against a 5 factory push here. And maybe something like a shuttle with some slow zealots in it. All with these goons put here to catch these vultures that run ahead here, trying to make Terran siege up and waste time, which is a smart move. You definitely don't want to take too much damage on these goons. Yeah, there's no reason to fight here for real. I do want to touch on, I think this gateway, I think like if a goon comes out, it'll come out here and then have to go like all the way around to get out of this base. We saw the Stargate, but you actually will, like, you won't get an Arbiter out in time for this push. So you don't want to waste so much money on that right now. Maybe get some DTs, but don't go for the Arbiter itself. These goons actually getting trapped here on this high ground third, and with all this damage that they've taken, I think Terran's in a very strong position here. These goons are completely cut off from saving the base. We do have some slow zealots trying to break out here. A Mind Track kills 3 vultures. Very nice. I see a DT in production. Speed for the zealots finished just a few seconds too late. Now, this DT, we do have some scanners with plenty of energy on them. So I don't think Grim should take too much damage from it. But I always say that when you're a Protoss, if you're about to lose, just make some Kate boys here and hope for the best. The Grim reacts very quickly here. Drops that scan. Continues to take down the natural of Protoss. And with these reinforcements coming across the map from the 5 factories, it's very hard for Protoss to bust out here. These mines. A bunch of vultures going down the mines. I think like more vultures have been killed by mines than by Protoss in this match. Oh. The DT gets another tank. There's only 1 tank left here for now. But these vultures can be very strong against these Zealot and DTs. That mine was the most, like, not the most like damaging mine, but like the most accurate mine, right? Like, just went straight for that DT, no problems. Alright, what's coming out of these gateways? Oh, by the way, we did have 8 gateways in Protoss base, I just didn't see them. The thing is, like, when you have this many vultures with mines, like, these trickles of zealots are not going to change the fight, right? We do have this 3rd nexus here, but there was no time to transfer probes. It certainly would not be very easy to defend. grimZ does not want to overextend here, but at this point, probably feels pretty safe in going in here. Like just more TGs. Tesla is a player after my own heart. Just make the invisible men and gamble. Oh no, with all this SimCity, the vultures have to find this perfect little path behind the main mineral line. This a DT spawns and vine drags to kill some vultures, but this is all of the mining for the Protoss player here. Under fire. The simulator is doomed. grimZ continuing to macro at home, has a ton of gas because vultures are basically free. This DT is really going to clean this up. There have been so many DTs in this game, this is amazing. Trying to send them out one by one here, actually using the observer to spot for mines, but grimZ has so many scanners at the ready. Trying to do a sick mine track, get some more vultures. Oh my god. Somewhere Artosis is shaking with rage right now. Third Nexus will go down sometime next year, probably, with this one vulture hitting it. About to get another tank. But the last of the DTs are cleaned up. So hold on. So I don't know if you guys saw that. We saw that DT swing at a mine, like complete the animation, and then the mine exploded. I thought mines would die in one hit to a DT. Like, I don't know. I don't know. The third base actually is saved here, but the Goom pays its life to the mine as tribute. Terran has built up a lot of tanks in their base and a good amount of vultures to clear them out here. There's not too many Protoss defenders left. The money can only last so long. And finally Tesla taps out of game one, but you know what? Like, honestly, I commend like staying in the game and just trying to make something happen. Like, it doesn't cost you anything. And that being said, we're gonna get into game two here. And like I said earlier, like, the fact that we have series is my favorite part of CPL. I mean, obviously, like, it's cool to, like, hang out with your team and, like, make friends and stuff, but no. I like that we get to play, like, a series, so if you drop one map, it's fine. You can, like, try to study your opponent, like, do one build in the first game to throw them off, like that. That is, like, that's sick, right? Like, it's good. I can't find any more ways to say that. Now, oh, I'm messing with my new overlays. Okay. So we're going to put one in the series score for grimZ and then get into game two here. Alright. This one's going to be on Good Night. Map that is brand new to CPL, but has been on the ladder for some time now. In the top right, in the yellow Terran, it's grimZ. And in the bottom right of Good Night, in the green Protoss, it's GeforceTesla. So, like, full disclosure, I have not laddered since the last CPL season. I, like, only played on this to practice for by a match. Which was a Zerg, so I have not played against Terran on it. I don't know much about it in this matchup, so we're going to learn together. I think I've heard Artosis say that it's bad for Terran, but that's not really, it doesn't really tell you very much. There is, like, there's some awkward stuff in the middle of the map that can make trying to get your army around kind of difficult. The bases are kind of funny. Like, there's those, like, small high ground gas bases that have, like, a kind of like a wide ramp. going to be an issue for both teams. Thank you for the follow, Mutaller. We're going to cast your games in a little bit here. Looks like both players are managing to scout in the correct direction first, which is nice to see. It kind of sucks when one player scouts first and the other one scouts last. Thank you, Joan Bone 98. But what a hell of a name. Looks like some very standard builds again. Oh, I mean, Tesla had the chance to go for the gas steal with like the quick scout and the scout first, but doesn't think to go for it. And actually, grimZ isn't taking this gas. Are we going to see like a gasless expand, like it's 2019 or something? Oh, something happened there. Was that a depot? Oh, so was it like grimZ built a depot, but then saw that it was like just one gate and then built a command center? Interesting. But this could be a build that grimZ has prepared for this map. It's not very popular lately. Like, Protoss has been so mean to Terran for the past like year or so that Terran basically feels like they have to just a factory expand. But like, we don't see any big moves from Tesla to punish this. Oh, never mind. We see a Zealot, and that's cool. And there's only going to be 2 Marines here, one in the bunker and one in the base. The Zealot could easily run by. If this SCV is unlucky, it will go down here. It gets popped immediately. The Zealot takes just a bit of hull damage, which is totally worth it. The Marines are being pulled back into the main. The Zealot is going to run around, get complete vision of what Terran is doing, and just be really annoying. Back at home, we see the progression to Goons. The range upgrade is on the way, and that is going to force the repair on the bunker, which is a big deal in this push because the factory is not even started yet, and you need a tank to push those Goons away. So this is one of the ways that Terran can't get punished here. I've recited this number so often without testing it myself that I'm probably making myself look dumb. But like, when you factor in the fact that they are not mining, and then you factor in the cost of repairing the bunker, each goon that hits the bunker costs the Terran 100 minerals per minute. And then you factor in like the APM and the frustration. It's pretty good. Now, the SCV from grimZ does make it past those 2 goons, gets to confirm that the Nexus is coming. So, grimZ knows that there's going to be a while before we have to deal with any Reavers or DTs or anything like that. I think only one of these SCVs is repairing, maybe? There we go. You need 1 per goon. I don't mind having, like, 1 extra in case you like forget for a little bit or something like that. This factory is just now finishing its add-on. The first tank is started, so you can think about all the money that's been lost here on this bunker, as well as having to make 4 Marines. And grimZ is going for siege, which is nice. It's safe, but it's harder to attack the Protoss without those vultures and the vulture upgrades. So Tesla should feel pretty safe here. And we actually have Tesla going up to 3 gateways here. A little bit more than necessary, so it could mean that we're going to see some more aggressive moves here from Tesla. Trying to snipe the tank, but pulls back without taking too much real damage here. This is a nice wall here for Terran. Tank being very brave here, trying to force his goons back in there. We have siege mode. I think if there were more goons, the tank would be in trouble. Like, I think maybe if you're standing here, they can hit the tank, so it should be like here. But with a second tank and without a ton more goons showing up, I think Terran is fine. Tesla not actually making use of all of these gateways just yet. Looks like might be deciding to take a third after all. We saw an attempt at an early third in the last game, but there was a vulture there. But there's no vultures on the map yet, so this probe gets to put down a Nexus. And the Observer gets there at exactly the right time. Very nice. Definitely something that I have to focus on a lot to get this timing down. But it helps so much. Like, there's so many different choices the Terran can make, and they all happen in the like 7 to 8 minute mark. So you'll get to see what's going on here. Looks like a similar build to last time. Soon we'll see like a 5 or 6 factory. A +1 push here. With this quick armory with 2 machine shop factories. Gonna get that tank count really high and then add some vultures on later. So definitely gonna be a very high power push here. But this time it's gone better for Protoss. Like, there was no FD to kill the early goons. There was no shield battery or cannons. There's no vulture denying the third. So Protoss is definitely feeling a lot better in this game. The 4 gateways is a strong number to have on 3 bases. The Arbiter tech is on the way, actually at a pretty good timing. And actually, it's not going to be a 2-base push this time. We see the 3rd command center and the starport in production for Terran. So both players looking for a solid macro game here on good night. Like all these tanks headed back to the main. I would bet that like this is when grimZ has practiced like dealing with drops and they happen to hit around this time, and this is a good way to do it. Just bring a bunch of tanks back to kill a Reaver. Look, we even have a 4th base going online for Tesla, or about to start for Tesla in the bottom left, and that's totally fine. Like, with only 2 factories, Terran's not going to be able to push for a long time here. You see the science facility going to unlock the next level of upgrades here. Scans going down all of the map for grimZ. Looks like they did target the 3rd base. Look at that, the first Arbiter is on the way. That you definitely want to start stasis soon. Here we go, grimZ gearing up to take that 3rd. And a dropship. Interesting to mix this in like kind of late, and unfortunately fly directly into that Observer. But I'm actually not sure about this wall. Like, does this? I would be surprised if this walls off vultures. I could maybe believe that it walls off goons. But with this push here that the Protoss might be gearing up to do, we didn't see any kind of reaction to that dropship. We don't see any units here on the left side of the map, so these 2 bases could be in danger here. In the meantime, these tanks are very exposed. They're the only 4 vultures that have been built. So like these zealots could potentially get on top of those tanks and keep those goons alive. This is kind of a precarious situation, but I forget about that because we have vultures driving probes out of the 3rd. Turns out that wall is not tight at all. Speed zealots do manage to clean up these vultures, the entire army for Tesla is pulled back, and this is kind of a victory for Terran here. Would have liked to see the vultures just get out. Okay, one does get out, but it bought a lot of time for grimZ here, and might lead to this base in the bottom left being caught, and that's even farther away from potential defenders. Well, the third base for Terran is safely up. It is mineral only, but I think Terran is mostly okay being on 2 gas. Like, you don't really want to go like 5 factories with machine shop making tanks, right? Like, you're completely happy making a lot of vultures. Now Protoss is gearing up to threaten this third, and that is something about this. A lot of the time Terran wants to take like a very small third that can be blocked off with a few depots, but that is not the case here on Goodnight on this mineral only. The Zealots are getting right in there. The vultures are not in position to block these tanks off. There is an Arbiter with 100 energy. I don't know. I didn't catch if Stasis was researched. These Zealots get really far forward. These Templar are just hanging out like, hey guys, we're Terran too. And now I think it'd be wise for the Goons to back off, especially having killed the third command center. Very nice. There's no reason to dive into the tanks with the Goons after that. Should feel pretty happy about that. Killed some tanks. Killed the third base. Nice pickoff for Protoss. Meanwhile, that dropship is still hanging on here. Could return to either of these bases at any time. You know, Tesla is doing a pretty good job of like fitting gateways in here. Like, I would have like the pylon here, and then like weird gateways just like at strange angles, and then like my tech would be all spread out, so I could fit like maybe 8 gateways in this whole giant base. But like, these gateways are jam-packed in here, and this is a big deal in this matchup. If we're gonna head to the late game, as it looks like you can get a second main with 2 gateways, but you just want basically as many gateways as you can build. And we have a fight here. Terran moving out, I think, too early. This melee Templar gets some huge storms off. We still don't see any stasis. I hope that just hasn't been like forgotten here. Protoss does have to retreat, but overall I think that fight went very well for Tesla. Those are the kind of fights that you want here. Pulling back to get more Zealots. Vessel gets taken out off screen. Oh my god, huge friendly fire. Tanks taking out 3 of their own brothers. The Zealots completely unstopped. You can take out this whole army here for Terran. And like I said, these are the kinds of trades that Protoss will make all day. So we have 2 armies, but they're not spinning. We're at 2-1. That plus 3 attack is a huge upgrade for Terran. Meanwhile, we just have Zealot Man rallying units across the map, and this could punish Terran. There's a lot of vultures now, so the Zealots are not going to be super effective, but they get some kills there. There we go. We do finally have stasis coming along. Would have been pretty handy to have in those fights. Storming on 1 vulture, because if the Templar dies, you don't get to use any of that mana anyway. And look at this, like Tesla just like has no off button. Once aggressive mode has been triggered, they just go forever. Like, there's no like, hey, let's regroup. It's just nope, but we got the next wave of units, let's charge in there. I really hope grimZ is not about to push with like 4 tanks. That's gonna be pretty scary here. We do have those next level of upgrades coming for Terran and for Protoss. What are the Protoss upgrades at? So +1 attack already. Then about to get 2-1 in a bit here. you'd love to see it. Here we go. So grimZ, I think like this is just too fast. Like Terran is all about like growing in strength exponentially and getting that maxed army and destroying Protoss with one volley of tanks, but you can't do that if you keep moving out with these small armies. Look at that, a stasis on one tank, but a storm all over all of these units, and another army is going to go down for grimZ. Tesla's going to take a 5th base here in the bottom left, leave this tank, let a zealot or gun clean it up later. You've seen a lot of good storms here in this game from Tesla, and now the 3rd base of Terran could be the next site with a weather advisory warning, because those SCVs are completely unprotected. It's like pure vulture man here from Terran. That dropship, I guess, managed to make it back. Alright, grimZ scrambling to defend this low ground 3rd here. So let's get on the Terran army. Storms all over the vultures. These SCVs are so clumped up. I still want to see a storm on the SCVs. But I think there's just too much. There we go. A stasis on these 2 tanks. No, grimZ taps out. There we go. And we still got the storm from the replay. Very nice. And we're going to go to Game 3. Alright, the first series of CPL Season 8 is going to Game 3. Isn't that sick? Isn't that like a good omen? Like in the Farmer's Almanac, if there's a Game 3, then like the season will be good. Alright, let's get into this Game 3. We're going to Butter, which we did get to cast a bit in the Coach show match, which was really sick. Or, not, well, yes, in the Coach show match and in the King of the Tiers, which were both sick, and you should watch if you haven't seen yet. But, here we go in the top right of Butter, in the, is this olive? The dark, sad yellow colored, the Terran player grimZ. And as always, in the bottom right, the green Protoss GeforceTesla. So Butter is relatively new. I like it a lot, which probably means that it's Protoss favored. It is, of course, a 2-player map. There's a lot of shenanigans in any matchup that you can get up to in a 2-player map. But this might be the most shenanigans a matchup right now, just because of like all the gas steals that we're seeing. We've seen like proxy starports for like really fast drops, stuff like that. I'm interested to see if we're going to see that. And we do have Tesla going for the pylon scout, which could mean that we're going to see a gas steal here. It's kind of funny that Tesla did the quick scout in the previous game, got the first scout, and did not go for the gas steal. But I guess it wouldn't have helped if Terran was already going to do a gasless expand here. Now, unless grimZ, cut some corners here to get the refinery up early, this gas will be stolen. And Protoss just feels pretty good after that. Doesn't look like we're going to go all the way into, like, gas steal into Nexus. Like, oh, we're not going to do gas steal into anything. grimZ did get a slightly fast gas here. So the shenanigans are blocked. We've seen Tesla kill SCVs before, and this one doesn't even get a buddy to save him. There we go. Someone takes his shift. But this SCV is still here, and the probe is still here, lurking. We have Steve Doug in the chat, appreciating the United Emu Directorate. It's pretty good. I wish that like I was a more prepared person and I had all of the team logos ready, because the team logos are all really sick. And the UED one is pretty awesome. So tune in tomorrow to the Match of the Week stream where someone professional will set that up. Now we got an early zealot here. I don't know if I like that. Like, it's such a long rush distance, and you didn't actually stop Terran. Like, I think in this case, probably just go for the goon. But it is going to make the SUV leave earlier, so that's nice. Hold on a minute. That's not where a pylon goes. So what could this be? I can only... So it's going to be Robo or Dart Templar. My guess is DTs, because if it was a Reaver, you would want it closer so that you can slow walk up to the bunker. That's my guess, but you know how it is. Oh, we have the Air Plus 1 started, which I assume is a fake. But the scouting SUV is already gone. So I'm... Okay. I was worried we were going to see, like, Proxy Scout, which would make this my favorite game of all time, but would probably not lead to a Protoss victory, if I'm being honest. But, no, it's the Citadel. It's going to be Proxy DTs. We've achieved peak Protoss. Attempt to go for the gas steal into Proxy DTs. But, this is a fake-out bunker. There's no command center. There's 2 factories. So it's a spicy game here for both players. Is Tesla going to run over? Tesla is going to see no command center. The Zealots have no fear. They possibly should have just a little bit of fear, but they managed to get into the main. See 2 factories. They're going to confirm everything going on. And look at this. There's a Nexus anyway, because when you have DTs, you don't care. Like, you will destroy this 2-fact push. Now, I think maybe I'm pretty sure that you want to start the archives before the Nexus when you go for Proxy DTs. And you definitely want a gateway here. A gateway builds just a bit faster than the archives. I think we might be having some panic here on the part of Tesla. Actually, so proxying the tech buildings when it doesn't matter where they're built and just getting the gateways at home. But like in this situation, that's probably fine, because if you kill this 2-fact push with your DTs, you'll be completely fine. The Nexus is canceled? Okay. Going up to 3 gateways. So by the way, yeah, so like DTs, like hard counters this. So I don't think you had to react this sharply. Like 1 DT can kill the whole push. Like, there's no scanner, there's no turrets, there's certainly no science vessels. There could be mines, but like not enough to kill DTs. So there's actually going to be 4 gateways with DTs, 5 gate DT incoming in this game. grimZ is getting here. He's going to be perplexed at no Nexus. The mines get the goon. These DTs have to avoid taking too much damage from all these mines. You could see a sick Mine Dragon, all these clumped up Terran units. One of the Marines does go down. There's no mines left. This DT is just going for it. Where's he going? Save your base. He's hungry. Meanwhile, it's actually a decent amount of time before the next wave of DTs spawns. The pylons are in danger. I think this gateway will get unpowered. I think this one's okay. It's kind of on the borderline here. The mines are being placed at the gateways. What is happening? The D2s, they're trying to run through this portal as fast as possible. It's going to spawn out here and kill like everything with the mines. No, the 2 DTs, they clump up. Meanwhile, there is a DT in the main of Terran. The eBay gets denied. I think Terran is going to come out ahead here, because at the very least they can just lift a building and not die to DTs, but oh no. What a tragedy for Tesla. grimZ takes the win. That is going to mean our first series is going to go to the UED. The Emus are triumphant in the first phase of this war. Let's see here. How do I figure out all these buttons that I've set up? Come on. Where'd it go? Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, those DTs that got a bit delayed, a proxy didn't happen. but still a good game nonetheless here. We're going to get into the next series, which is going to be iamsacul against bekrul. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. We're gonna learn together. As soon as I fix... Oh, I didn't... Oh, I did. Okay, hold on. Yes, alright. There we go. Okay, okay. Let's get into this next series. Hold on. Wait, hold on a minute. This is not the correct first game. Wait, hold on a minute. Did we play in the wrong maps? Let's find out. Butter is supposed to be the third map. Okay, it looks like the maps were played in a different order. That's fine. I'm actually going to run to the bathroom real quick before I get into this game. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry for the delay there. Let's get back into that game. It looks like I'm going to assume that the maps were just played in the wrong order. It could be that the replays were mislabeled, but let's just assume that they played the maps out of order. So let's get back into that butter game that we just saw. Alright, in the top right of butter, in the weird flesh color, it's the Zerg player, bekrul. And in the bottom right, the black Protoss 2T, 3T, aka iamsacul. It's, I don't know, sacul. I don't know what's going on here. It's Protoss. This black color is going to be a bit rough, maybe on the minimap. Not too bad. This is not like a lava map. So we did just see butter. I don't know how much of that game was due to the map, to be honest. I think that was sort of just down to the builds. PvZ is a map that I think will definitely have a lot of oddities on butter. So something we didn't really get to see come into play is there's like 4 paths through the middle of the map, and like once you start on one of the paths, it's difficult or impossible to like cross over to a different path. So it's completely possible to have armies just get around each other. That has happened to me a lot in my practice games. Like, we'll just pick different routes through the middle and just end up at each other's bases. Now what? Okay, so the first hatchery goes down to what I would label like the 4th or the 5th for Zerg. It's pretty far away here, and like it's weird because it's not weird to get a base this fast as Zerg, right? So why would you hide it? And it's not even like in a place where you know, it's not like proxied here so that you can like build hydras out of it. I don't know, like, is it supposed to trick the Protoss into thinking that there's no bases? Like, maybe you're forcing Protoss to spend all of the APM on blocking this hatchery that actually can't be started now anyway. I'm not sure what's going on with the hatchery. Maybe we'll see something come of that. Now, this base is, like, very undefensible, like, with this kind of small choke here. That played in to these choices. Back at the home of Protoss, we have a Forge Expand going Nexus before Cannon, which is fine against Hatchery first. I don't know if iamsacul like is aware of what's going on or just thinks that their opponent didn't get a Hatchery. Because like you still see the pull timing. Like, it's completely fine. Like, this is a long rush distance map, and it was like, you know, even if you're confused about what's going on, like, this is like an overpull, I guess, is what you would guess. So you're completely fine getting this cannon now. Now, not getting the gateway as part of the wall, and actually now, you know, that I noticed, like, this pylon should not be part of this wall. I'm like 90% sure that the correct map for this wall is like pylon somewhere in this area, forge here, and then gateway here. You end up with like a 2 zealot gap in the middle here, which is pretty nice. So this is going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4 zealots, maybe one here. I'm not sure. I don't know if we're going to see a lot of lings from the Zerg. This probe is still alive. There's only been like 2 lings. Bekrul sending out 2 more drones. Are we just gonna see like hatchery man? Is that what we're seeing now? Yeah, we're seeing a 4th hatchery. I should have noticed that there's no gas, so it's not going to be any kind of fast layer build. It looks like this is going to be a 5 hatch Hydra, or maybe just 4 hatch Hydra, if I can count correctly. So these kinds of builds, they're geared towards getting out a lot of Hydras and a lot of drones. So they lean into like a strong mid game, but you delay your tech a lot. So Protoss has ways to abuse that. And what is the tech follow-up going to be here for Protoss? We see the +1 attack started. We want to get that. I mean, in general, we want to get the Stargate or the Citadel. And there is the 5th hatchery. You see, it's 5 minutes at no gas. Like, this is going to be pretty scary for Zerg. Now, I think that you, like, I guess, like, ideally, if you think it's 5 hatch Hydra, I can tell you that I like to go Citadel. Tune into my games to see how that went for me. There were still mutas, spoilers, but it's not bad to get a Stargate. Like in the deep lore of this game, you know, decades ago when it was played on Korean television, like Corsairs were not a defensive tool. They were oh god, this is Zerg's worst nightmare, and like the whole like Scourge play that we see now is like a reaction to it. And if we see iamsacul here, like it'd be like a Bisu with the multitask, these Corsairs could get a lot of damage done. Like there's actually not, hold on, there's not even a Hydra Den. There's 6 hatcheries. Is this just like Ling Man? Yeah, okay, if we see a Carapace upgrade here, it's going to be Lingman. But I'm not sure what this is. We do have a first set of Zealots. No, okay, there. We have a Hydrodin and a Spore Colony. Is this the first Corsair? No, we have one Corsair here. Now, the Spore is going to get up. It will save these 3 Overlords for now. But there's still a few out on the map. No, what? No, the move command Corsair. Unfortunate. That Overlord does get to live another day. Might make it to the safety of the Spore Colony. And look at this. Okay, I think this is something that bekrul has like practiced and planned out. In particular, this is basically like Turtle Zerg. Now, the big strength of like the old like larva style Turtle Zerg is like if you take another natural as your third, it's very, and then like build a bunch of Sunkens there, it's very easy to take the main behind that natural as your fourth. So there's not going to be an easy fourth here for Zerg, but like I don't want to fight this, right? Like I don't want to fight Sunks and a Spore behind SimCity with like Hydras in the choke. Like that sounds like a nightmare. This base, look at this. Like I'm not even sure Zealots can physically walk in here, let alone like win a fight. So this setup is gonna let bekrul just drone to their heart's content, make a ton of Hydras. And these Corsairs are not being like super effective. Like they kind of indirectly forced the Spore, but I think you would want more damage done than that. So we could check the main here. We're continuing to see a Corsair, so I hope that they pay off. They certainly can. We can maybe see them paired with a Zealot attack while the Hydras are distracted. Now, what I like when there's no Spire, I think you should just go for a drop as Protoss. And we even already have the Robo. Like, we've seen some sick games in, like, ASL and BSL where we have, like, a high time, a Storm and Dark Templar drop. It's like you, like, put a DC in the main, and the drones retreat, and then you drop the Templar and kill all of the stacked up drones. Like, you can just try stuff like that when Zerg does not get a Spire. Now here we go. We do have some damage being done here. 2 Overlords here, relatively undefended. Pulls back these Corsairs before any of them fall down. I think wisely decides not to fight this. And wisely decides to get this third. So both players playing pretty smartly here. I really like that iamsacul like recognized that, you know, I'm just not going to get damage done if I try to push Zerg. So I'll spend that money on a base. And like there's not that many Hydras here. So Zerg's ability to attack is nothing great either. There's like, I don't know, like 20 Hydras, which in 10 minutes of the game is not scary. I know we saw Storm in production. We do have a DT. Are there any High Templar? Oh, we have Burrow. That's funny. We have all these like burrowed lings hanging out at bases and choke points. I'm very interested to see that. And this is another Protoss player who like actually has good SimCity. Like I'm in like tier 1 and my bases do not look like this. My bases are a mess. So I might take some pictures of this and try to rebuild this SimCity in my future games. Now we do have Lurker Tech coming online. We do have a late Spire. Just gonna get some skirt. I do imagine we're gonna see like a big Muta switch here. We have Templar being mixed in. We already have Detection as Protoss, which is good. We do want to see some Dragoons mixed in here to we don't lose all of our Zealots to Lurkers. Meanwhile, we have with these Corsairs and this CT, iamsacul is doing a great job staying on top of what Zerg is doing. making sure they aren't getting out expanded. We do have a move out here from bekrul, but I think this Protoss army is going to be way too strong with that one burrowed link to get caught by the observer. Alright. I think bekrul recognizes, like, oh god, there's like 24 zealots here and 3 Templar. Could maybe see some attempts at sniping these Templar, but in a big fight, I think Prez is going to take this. Oh no, the Templar! Don't get sniped! Oh god, they're all in the back! Oh, a big storm, but in typical a Cold Warp Gates fashion, it storms his own observers. So iamsacul is going to have to back off here. Or maybe not, you know? Maybe just man mode it because we have 6 Templars, so even if they get sniped, we still have some left. Now, okay, guys, like, at some point, like, stop making zealots and make goons. Like, there's so many zealots that can't even, like, all fight each other. Like, they can't all fight at once. They all just get in each other's way. And one thing is, like, goons are much better at preventing Templar snipes because they can, you know, you can't, like, kite a goon with a Hydralisk. Alright, oh god, alright. So these zealots, please do not fight the lurkers. Oh my god, look at that. Look at all those spines that Archon just gets deleted. So this could be pretty scary here for Protoss. Like, once you hit, like, a certain number of lurkers, you can eat up, like, max army of zealots. It's gonna look like a 2003 custom map over here. We do have 3 goons in production, a bit of a supply block here for Protoss at exactly the time you don't want. Did you guys see those zealots go, like, super fast? Did you see that? It was like the, like, turbo boost zealots going down there. I don't know. Oh god, going up a ramp against lurkers. I don't know about it, but they're so stacked. The storms are perfect. Oh my god, beautiful fight here for the Protoss player. iamsacul chewing through all of these Hydras and lurkers. That was obscene. Another observer goes to the storm, but this one survives. Corsair's here to punish these overlords. And Protoss is thinking about a 4th base down here, and at any point, like, being even on bases is great for Protoss. Being ahead on bases is like when you type Naga in the chat. Zerg is not actually out of it yet. A bit supply blocked from losing those overlords, but a ton of lurkers are back on the field. Oh, but now we've given up on Zealot Man, and it's just Goon Man. With the +2 attack, we do have 1-1 done for Hydras with +2 attack on the way. Would like to see, like, I think both players have had their upgrade buildings for a while now. Could maybe be, like, a bit higher. We do have that 4th base started at a ridiculous time in this matchup. iamsacul is not afraid to, like, keep Zerg pressured with this army on the map and then expand behind it. And what did I say at the start of this game? On Butter, it's so easy for these 2 armies to, like, miss each other in the middle of the map. Zerg getting a bit split up here. Now again, we do have lurkers on the map, but they're so clumped. If these storms get there, there we go, all over these lurkers. Protoss still taking some heavy casualties trying to bust up this ramp. The goons being dumb on the ramp, but oh my god, the storms are disgusting. So many Hydras are going down. And there's a ton of gateways here for the Protoss to rebuild that army. And plenty of money. It's just a huge economy here for the Protoss. 65 probes, by the way. We stopped at exactly 65 probes. I haven't made any more. That's a very nice touch. Zerg is only now starting their 4th, and, like, if Protoss catches this, I think Protoss could go kill that 4th base. It's looking pretty good here. We have a bunch of eggs, but each of these Zerg armies is getting smaller, and each of these Protoss armies is getting just a bit more sophisticated. Like, we had Pure Zealot, and then we had Pure Goon, and then we have these two Archons. We have some Zealots and some Goons. It's getting pretty deadly here. We have Zerg trying to go for an attack at this fourth, and actually there's no cannons. There's no Templar waiting here. This base could be in trouble. Maybe these units are being rallied from these gateways could help, but this base is actually going to hurt. And do not bring your whole army back to defend that. Like, the base will just be dead by the time this army gets back. Another Burrowling gets caught. Oh, we have another base being shut down by this group of Zealots. A miss-rally on these hatcheries is going to have a trickle of Hydras get caught. The fourth base is just being abandoned here by the Protoss. Those Templar decided to join the fight instead. Now this... Okay, there's no lurkers here, so we could see a Protoss break this base, but I think Protoss is more eager to catch all of these eggs over here. Okay, so when you get to a base like this, you want to just attack with your goons. Just hit like one layer at a time. Don't try to dive on the sunks, and kind of make it Zerg's problem to stop you. Like, have your goons here and have like your Zealots and Templar back here. You don't want to like dive into the Zealots. You'll take way too much damage. So we got these Templar. They're waiting for drones to exist so they can walk up and storm them. Or maybe they've just been forgotten. Oh, we have a Refrigerator in the chat pointing out I think all the obs are dead. So more lurkers could be a problem. But the fourth base is not going to live long enough to see that happen. Oh, these lurkers could be setting up on the retreat path for Protoss. Could be dangerous. We do have these Zealots clean up that Hydra attack, but the fourth base is not rebuilt. Oh, another big storm here. But there's nothing to see these lurkers, but who cares if you can see them? You can just storm them anyway. Nice play here from iamsacul. But a ton more lurkers coming up, and Observer gets there just in time to die to a storm. No. Oh no. So more 6 storms, but I think Zerg has finally turned the tide of this fight. This army is going to have to get out of here. But like, even if it does, I mean, Protoss is still in fine shape. But all these units are going to manage to block each other on the terrain and not escape with their lives. But as you can see, there's going to be plenty of new units coming out of the Protoss. Now, the big issue for Protoss now is that there is only one mining base. 52 probes, you know, it's going to be a bit overcrowded there. The fourth base is coming down. Definitely this time want to see a ton of cannons. I mean, we can certainly afford it. And I think, like, you want, like, 2 Templar at each base. Like, maybe 1, but, you know, I'm bad, so I just put 2 Templar. And then when you get to, like, these, like, really far out bases, you can even like put a gateway to make Templar and a Ribo to make Reavers at the bases, so you don't have to worry about getting them over there. Now Zerg is trying to come in for the counterattack. I don't think this will work. There's so much for Protoss, even if it is Zealots against Lurkers. It's just back here in the Protoss turf, their numbers are going to be supreme. That attack gets wiped out immediately. You have +3 attack, then we have armor and shields on the way for the Protoss. Let's check back on the Zerg upgrades. Still 2-1 actually, so no more further development on that. For bekrul, looks like the hive is on the way. Defilers could help a lot. It saves lurkers from goons. Won't help with all these 6 storms that have been going off. Something is dying somewhere. I don't know. There. Okay, the forge blocked in all these goons. Oh no! So we do have the second forge being rebuilt. I hope these goons can get out now. Like surely, like they can walk under here. Really? They can't? Can they just not walk like on this part of the map? That's unfortunate. Now, like I was saying, Defilers could be a way for bekrul to get back in this game. Oh, we actually have this base being taken in the middle of the map. So, you know, this could be the start of a comeback for Zerg here. If the Protoss takes too long to rebuild, doesn't advance their tech a bit more, you can mix in those Reavers to get Splash under Dark Swarm, or if you're Gosu, like, you can just get 6 Storms and get more Archons. The Protoss trying to bust up the high ground yet again here, does run into these Lurkers. And no Storms yet. This is starting to look like a bad trade for Protoss. You can see the supplies get closer and closer here, but there we go. Some Storms, cleans out these Hydras. We do have some reinforcements flanking from 3 directions here, as you can see on the mini-map. Protoss might want to back off here. There's only 1 Templar left, no Storm. Yeah, these goons are going to be in trouble if they get surrounded by Hydras. Alright, it was looking really good for Protoss for a while, but bekrul has kind of weathered that storm, gotten the hype tech, starting to get back into those upgrades. Managed to punish the Protoss for being a bit slack with the observers, taking some fights that shouldn't have been taken. Now, it's not over for either player, but we're getting into this really stressful phase of this game where both players are going to have a ton of bases, a ton of ground to cover. Both sides can do drops. There's going to be like very powerful spellcasters on both sides. Like, please build a Defiler Zerg. That there's so many Zergs who like get stuck in this like mid-game mindset of Hydra Lurker, but Defiler is just so good. And when it's like 23 minutes into the game and you have 5 gases, like, just get Defilers, man. They're so good. Like, all of these goons are basically obsolete when you get Defilers. So we have something going on here. These Corsairs are still getting value even this late into this game. And we have another fight, more heavily clumped up Lurkers, more Storms doing a lot of damage here. Oh my god, there we go. Big Storms clears out this army in the middle, but what is Protoss going to do with this? Is Protoss going to be able to reinforce this? I think so. These Hydras are here. They have 2-2. Oh, come on, Storm. Storm. We have so many Storms left. There you go. Trying to turn this fight around, but I think his units are going to go down even if they get good trades. We have a 5th base going up for Protoss. That borrowed Ling is here. The Ling is coming from inside the house. The Hydras are going to be here to shut that down. Protoss needs to get this army over here as soon as possible to defend this base. Oh, and actually not mining gas from the 4th anymore after it was rebuilt. That's a big deal. Like, look at these balance of resources. This moment. We're just trying to save this base. I think they're going to do it, but are they going to be able to hold off the successive attacks here? We saw some Lings mixed in. I don't remember if Adrenal has been seen. Decent upgrades on the melee units as well. I think Protoss upgrades looking pretty good. Okay, we got 311 and another armor on the way. But bekrul is not happy to just sit back and let the Protoss expand. Getting this army ready. I'm sure it'll do a ton of damage. Trying to figure out what's going on. This base is mined out. Zerg's main is actually still not... Okay, something must have dropped in here, because why else would there be no drones at all? So I clearly just missed something there. Now, I mentioned this with Sylphid in our first series, how because it's a 3-player map, you can't split it evenly. In this matchup, like, if the Protoss, like, if, let's say, like, Protoss takes this base and denies this one, in the long term, they'll just win because their units will be more efficient. But while we have seen iamsacul put a lot of effort into blocking these bases, now that they're on the back foot, Zerg has been free to do it. Now charging up the ramp one more time, taking heavy losses here, but forcing their way up. And actually, there's not nearly as many Hydras to back up these lurkers as I thought there would be, and suddenly this base is completely unprotected and completely open. No, they got pulled back because they saw two Hydras here. They're all in the same control group. No, but one zealot does force all of these drones to leave. Still, more overlords are being poked by Corsairs. I think this one might go down here, but you can tell that iamsacul is putting in a lot of focus, trying to find every possible way to damage these Zerg. And now, I was like just hyping up Zerg, and they're certainly not out, but like the supply is looking pretty good for Protoss. That 5th base did indeed come up. We do have that Roa being built here. I see Consume in production. The Zerg, so Defilers could be online very soon, and Adrenal, so we're going to head towards that lake in composition, but actually suddenly Zerg is on like 1.1 mining bases. This one is not up yet. We got Simo in the chat, upset that I didn't respect his nap time. I'm sorry. By the way, bro, can you send me your replays so I can cast them today? Yeah, so you've not missed your games because I don't have replays for them because they were bugged in the app. But anyway. Oh, he said, all right, sick. I will download them when the time comes. Thank you. I can't check Discord. I have D&D on. Anyway, in this game, Zerg desperately needs this base to get up, and like ideally this one as well, because like look at the mining. Like this base is halfway done. This base is basically done. The gas is even depleted here. I checked there. I'm actually surprised that there's 4,000 gas here, and gas is a big deal for Zerg in the hive stage of the game. But like Protoss is feeling pretty good. Protoss is completely happy with 2 mining bases. Might even be able to get up a 3rd somewhere. Defilers, we see tech coming for the Defilers. We don't actually see them on the field just yet. And I think iamsacul here is ready to fight this base here. There's some units, but no defensive structures, which is really what makes the pain for Protoss. And actually, so I don't know if this is good or not to go for the main, because like you can kill all of the tech, which is good, and you kill a bunch of hatcheries, but there's not really much of an economy left in the main base at this point, right? So I literally just don't know if it's good, but I guess it's better than doing nothing. The Zerg is certainly trying to defend it here. And I think the fact that Zerg can't stop Protoss from doing this is that we're definitely in the last few minutes of this game. We see a bunch of goons being made. I know we haven't seen Defilers deployed yet, but like we should be at like a lot of Archons in our army and some Reapers at this point. And actually, I think is Zerg going to clean this up? There's a bunch of Templar here, but not too much muscle left. Do have some reinforcing zealots, some more Storm on Lurkers. I think more Lurkers have died to Storm in this game than like any game I've ever seen. It's pretty ridiculous. Actually, this base is still up. Not too many drones there. The drones are really concentrated. Actually, there are 54 drones in this game. Like, where are they? I guess they must all be here. These cracklings are starting to come out. Storms, thankfully, Protoss are very good. Like, cracklings are so good against gateway units. You just need Archons. And some really good storms to clean them up. The fight for this location is pretty much going to be the end of this game, because if iamsacul takes it, they can threaten every base that Zerg has. It's just a small trickle of Zerg units coming in here. We do see this base being taken. Whatever Ling was there tied to cannons. And the Zerg main is in danger, where all of this tech is, and the hive itself. So Zerg will be reset to the Stone Age pretty much. And I don't think we actually ever saw any defilers, which is really unfortunate, especially when Protoss has this like goon heavy army here. Do you have an expansion from Protoss being shut down by a small group of Lings? Always very annoying. The Hive Cluster is going to be destroyed, and bekrul taps out. And that was game 1 of this series. Like, that was a really good game. Like, I need to get more water after that game, so we'll load up the lobby for game 2 and then we'll get started. Okra is like, oh god, what is that, man? That's butter, dude. And you better get used to it, because I think that map's going to be around for a while, because you know, like, we're going to be playing this season for 10 weeks. So you better get real familiar with butter. That's going to be a win for Protoss on that side. Alright, I'll be right back, and we'll start game 2. Alright, I'm back. Let's start game 2. And no, Simon, you did not miss the Mutaller JustBorisu match. This is only the second series that we've casted today. Come on. Alright, we're headed to Sylphid. Alright, in the top middle of Neo Sylphid, the blue Zerg, it's bekrul. And once again, in the difficult to see on the mini-map black Protoss, it's 2T3T, aka iamsacul. Now this map, I don't remember like the stats for this matchup, but I feel really uncomfortable here as Protoss. Like, the natural walls are kind of weird. Zerg loves these bases, these high ground thirds. Like, they're so good for Zerg players. It's kind of like a short brush distance, but a very open middle of the map. Hydra busts are pretty good. Like, Hydra can get a pretty big arc here. Oh, we got the question mark in the chat. I don't know what that's about. There's not even anything like meme worthy going on. I don't know. Maybe there was a pause or lag. I don't know. Like the BM meta is not super strong in tier 2. Like Gotta wait for your opponent to do something dumb, and then hit with a question mark. That's when you really get them tilted. So we have another hatch first here for bekrul. Actually, it's like a 10 hatch or a 9 hatch. So less economic and more masslingy. Doesn't have to be all in, but more aggressive than the standard Zerg openings. Now, is the Protoss going to recognize that? I don't think that you want to go next before cannon against this. I'm actually not sure. I'm sure that you'll need 2 cannons at least if Zerg really pumps at the Lings. Not sure what order you're going to build these in. I've been doing Gateway Expand, so I've like forgotten all of my knowledge from Forge Expand. I'm trying to be annoying here. I'm trying to script the mining of Zerg, but this drone is going to push them out. Alright, this is going to be a flood of Lings here. I'm really curious about this choice to get such a fast hatchery. Like, we're starting to see this kind of thing more, and I don't always get it. Like, if you are going to make, like, Maslin, like, it's some kind of ZVZ build, then okay, like, I get it. But, like, why did you make this hatchery so fast if it's just going to be drones? I don't know. But here in Protoss land, it's all very normal looking. Oh, look at this. We have a drone trying to go to the other natural, I think, to make a third. Oh, the probe is chasing. I was really hoping that probe would block. There's so many drones. What is going on in this? There's just drones everywhere. So I think this is bekrul, like, trying to set up for the a similar thing to what we saw last time. We did see a very strange place for the first hatchery in the previous game. This is not a strange place. Getting, like, this natural would also not be a strange choice. Like, if we're gonna see that a turtle Zerg again, I would actually prefer this to that, and then you just get your 4th here, right? But similar to that base that was taken last time, this base is unbreakable. Like, you know, you have like 2 sunks and a blocking building, and God forbid, like, a lurker on this ramp. Like, forget about it. Protoss is not going to be able to take that. Alright, so it looks like a similar opening from bekrul here. Getting the gas a lot earlier than last game. The gas was kind of messed up last game, but this is a much more normal timing for this kind of build. The first 3 zealots are out, and they are going across the map, trying to apply some pressure here. Not a whole lot of Lings. This one just gets to live. This zealots just walk past the Ling. I don't know what that's about. Starting to force more Lings from the Zerg. I think this is probably the point where you want to turn around or try to split off some zealots. This probe is trying to find where the 3rd base is. I don't think it's seen it. No, does not check that one. It's like, oh, these zealots, like, they're about to get surrounded by a ton of Lings, I think, and there's not much room for them to move in here. Oh god, this one gets fused on the terrain. iamsacul is playing very courageously with these zealots. Does get surrounded. It's not too bad, but not the trades that you're looking for with those first 3 zealots. A decent amount of Lings were forced out, but look at that. 9 drones. As soon as those zealots go down, it's just that D key gets slammed. Zerg knows that the Protoss can't hurt them for a while. And once again, we see going into the Stargate here. Those Corsairs did eventually get a decent amount of damage done. There is a spore colony here at the natural, but That's where all of the Overlords are, actually. Like, there's these 3, and then there's 1 here. So that could mean that DTs are going to be pretty good. I did mention last game how I really wanted to see a DT drop in the main. And, like, this build that bekrul is doing is kind of an extreme... Sorry, I unplugged my microphone. Anyway, this build is, it's an extreme example of this, but, like, even in a more normal-looking build, like, even if Zerg has enough Overlords to, like, get detection everywhere, they don't want to protect them everywhere, so they usually do protect them at the natural and the 3rd with Hydras rather than Spores, but that leaves the main undetected most of the time, like, or uncovered by detection. So if you can get a DT to the main, it's pretty strong. And the speed zealots are done. Air weapons being upgraded. I think the air weapons is probably not super handy against a late Spire build. I think you mostly want it to counter the potential air carapace. This is gas. You'd rather be going to Templar at this point in the game, I think. Adding on more gateways. It's a pretty decent Sim City. You can really tell that iamsacul practices this kind of thing. This is another map where the main is kind of awkward to fit gateways or other buildings in. So it definitely pays off here for Protoss. We're seeing a very similar game plan for the Zerg continue. You're going to get into large numbers of Hydras and Lurkers. And just like last time, iamsacul was going for that quick 3rd, so definitely paying attention to what worked in the previous game. You have Corsairs out on the map looking for any vulnerabilities. These drones maybe misrallied or maybe trying to expand and getting caught. Do we have burrow again? That was pretty funny having the burrow links at all these bases. Zealots getting in the way of the Nexus. Nice, nice. There we go. It does go down. So I mentioned in the first series how my favorite feature of Sylphid is how much choice you have for the 3rds, and the thing about these 3rds is they have less resources. And they're kind of awkward to defend. So, like, Protoss would definitely want to get a fast 4th if they get this 3rd, which we did see happen last game. But these Lings are here. Will get driven off by Zealots, but it does show us, I think, that bekrul is thinking about being aggressive much earlier than they were in the previous game. Wait, do we have burrow again? One Templar does get sniped. Very nice here. Only losing 2 Hydras. I'm pretty sure that's worth. Starting to see tons of Hydras pop out. The Lurker aspect is almost done. Last game, we saw iamsacul get great value with Zealots even once there were Lurkers on the map. Well, these Corsairs taking a bunch of free damage here. One does go down. Man, these Hydras are really annoying. These Templar are out on the field. There's a lot more Hydras than there were last game, so this is a big risk. Like, it hurts to lose your Zealots. It's like game ending to lose all of your Templar. Like, to lose your first 5 Templar and they all have a bunch of energy on them, like, that's really dangerous. I always get scared when Protoss moves their Templar out before goons are out. This guy's dancing. Alright, he fixed it. Alright, let's check on those upgrades. We got 1 attack for the Zerg. I think that's +2 attack almost done, and armor almost done. So Protoss sitting pretty here with the upgrades. Lurkers are out. Protoss this game deciding not to fight the Lurkers, which I think is pretty funny because Butter has like so many ramps, and iamsacul would fight up a ramp so often, and this map where it's like really flat in the middle is they're like no, we're gonna back off and get goods this time. Oh, okay, never mind. I see why. It's because the Robo is pretty late. The Robo was much quicker last time, at least relative to the Lurkers. So this is kind of a scary part of the game that we saw some godlike storms in the past. There's a DT I barely even noticed, just chipping away at the Hydras. Very nice. Storm actually whiffs on these Lurkers, so this is looking like a much stronger position here for bekrul. By the way, I like there's like a group of links here, but ready to backstab. Oh, another Storm misses the Lurkers. And of course, seriously, they do take a bunch of free damage. Starting to look kind of scary here. For the Protoss, there is that flank coming from this angle, maybe trying to draw too many units here from the Protoss. iamsacul wisely only sending some Zealots. I think too many, but better than sending all of them. Another Templar gets sniped. In the meantime, the flank does get cleaned up by these 2-1 upgraded Zealots. Then they go slightly too far and die. But look at the supplies. Zerg actually just passed the Protoss, and that is an awful feeling. Now the fact that Protoss has a third means that like not all hope is lost. Like if this situation was here, but iamsacul was stuck in their main and natural, that would be like GG. But having this third at all is going to keep Protoss in this game. Just have to weather the storm. Try to avoid losing too many units. I think we've seen a couple double storms here, which is not ideal, but at least they're getting some damage done. Meanwhile, Zerg is getting their 4th. This is a much later 4th than Zerg normally wants. I think like 10 minutes is when Zerg gets their 4th most of the time. But we're seeing kind of a unique style here out of bekrul today. Protoss trying to find some ways to do damage, trying to pick off any lurkers that are overexposed. Oh, these storms this game, like, they've just not been quite as good as they were in the first game. Maybe some of that fatigue is setting in here. There we go. 3 lurkers with 1 storm. Goons running forward with detection, trying to clean them up. Oh my god, the snipes. No, the observers! 2 observers go down. Man, that's the hardest part of this game, is not killing your own stuff. Zerg is just leapfrogging forward here, just slowly pushing forward, slowly punishing Protoss for each control mistake. And now lurkers are being added to this flank. There's still 4 cannons, but I think we've all seen cannons that are really fast in this matchup. Oh god, the goons go way too far forward. The observer is just a bit behind here. A bunch of free damage being dealt. The observers are in danger of being sniped, but that's a juicy storm, and we do see it happen. So big losses on both sides. Protoss has regained the supply lead for now, but as I say that, Zerg remaxes. If this lurker burrowed, it would actually be able to hit the mineral line, but it kind of bugs out there on this probe. The money for Protoss is really starting to stack up. We didn't see it get this high until like 4 or 5 bases in the previous game. I know we talked about that Sim City, but we do want to fit more gateways in here, but Protoss decides that trying to break out of a lurking contain is actually hell on earth. So we'll get into game 3. And now both of our series so far have gone to game 3, which is always epic. Why can't I read? What am I looking for? Oh, it's not on this. Okay. Sorry, I'm very good at ups. Okay. Alright, let's head to game 3. It's going to be on Goodnight, which I can tell you I definitely do not enjoy in this matchup. Alright, in the pink Zerg in the top left, winning game 2 and bringing us to game 3, it's bekrul. And in the bottom right, abandoning the black color, it's now the angry red Protoss in the bottom right of Goodnight. iamsacul, aka 2T3T. So, like I said earlier, I have not played ladder at all recently, so my only experience with Goodnight is practice games in this matchup. And it feels pretty gross. The walls are kind of weird. Like, the bases are like just a bit, the third bases are just a bit too far away to feel comfortable. Lots of ramps in the middle that can make it hard to get around. We do have iamsacul moving out again. We saw a similar wall set up to this on Butter, and on this map I feel even stronger that it's just wrong. If you're wondering, if you have this kind of choke where the flow of travel is vertical but the gap is horizontal, you want like pylon, forge, gateway. Like forge on the left always and gateway on the right always. It just leads to a much easier to defend thing. Now that that is out of the way, we have seen Protoss go for forge expand 2 times in a row, and this time going for a gate expand. Now I don't know if this is practice, like if there's something about Goodnight that they prefer for gateway expand. I'm a little worried because like normally Protoss players, like they kind of pick one build to do forge or gateway, and they stick with it. So I'm hoping that this isn't just Protoss being like, YOLO, I'll do a new build that I haven't practiced yet, because there's a lot of different things that you have to practice for each one. We saw this drone like miss path, I think it's stuck down here, but it does manage to get this natural done or started. So we're seeing the Protoss shift up their strategies here. Are we going to see Zerg change things up or continue with this late gas, lots of drones, lots of Hydras build? Oh, hold on, we did. This is like overpool. Or 9-pool? No, this is overpool. Yeah. So this is different. We did see gateway first, or we did see hatchery first. Gateway first is actually better against overpool than it is versus Hydra first, or Hydra first, versus hatchery first. But we saw Protoss not move out with the first zealots, probably because it's cross position. Oh, hold on. What is this secret unholy wall configuration that I've just discovered? That's interesting. So I'm going to assume that Lings can't get through here because they normally can't get through terrain and pylons. This is kind of interesting. Like, it is 2 gaps each of 1 zealot, which is strong. I don't. It's like, I don't know if it's still good, but it is funny. Like, I do appreciate it, but like, oh well, this happens to me every game. It doesn't matter how good your wall is if your links just run through. Very annoying. The Zealots are forced back, but there's still so many links coming. Like, I think what you want to do is leave 2 Zealots to block this off and then have the rest come back and try to fight these links. Maybe even get a cannon in your own main. I hate this. This is upsetting me. I hate having lings in my base. I just feel unclean. But Protoss is trying to hold it together, trying to keep that tech going. Smartly did block the natural choke. Brood War, baby. Why is that not tight? That's obnoxious, man. Alright, but you know what? I can tell you that a forge is tight, so just put the forge there next time. I think even a core there is tight. Alright, but despite my whining, Protoss is completely fine. Actually, Zergle has 11 drones? What happened? I guess there were more links made than I thought. That's like, we're approaching like 3 times as many probes as there are drones. Like, this is getting, somehow this is looking pretty good for Protoss, despite getting links in their base. Once again, returning to the Stargate tech. Trying to posture with these Zealots. Trying to move out, come back. Trying to force some kind of mistake from Zerg. Trying to sneak out here with a scouting probe. The Overlord did see it, and somehow just like through fate, the links happened to be hanging out where the probe was going to go. Like, I think bekrul was aware that there was a probe out, but these links were hanging out there before the probe moved. It's interesting that they just gave up on chasing. And the chaos, the Zealots are sneaking by. Looks like they're headed for that 3rd base, which is completely undefended here. We are seeing that drone count rise meteorically here. With all of these hatcheries, Zerg can produce a lot of whatever they want right now. But this is a 6.5 minute gas. This is like the latest gas I've ever seen. And that could make things very hard for Zerg. And speaking of things that can make things difficult for Zerg, this 3rd base is going to die here. There's not nearly enough links to defend these Zealots. What? Don't stop. What was that about? Alright. And that is kind of a nightmare for Zerg. Like I've said earlier, being on even bases to the Protoss, it sucks for Zerg. Especially when you're going to be turtling in on your 2 bases. Like, Protoss is going to feel great about that. They try to come out and surround these Zealots, but I think there's enough Zealots to just fight them, especially if the links are split up. Alright, I overestimated Zealots again. The links are going to clean this up, but I think denying the 3rd and forcing all these links in the first place is definitely worth it for Protoss. Trying to sneak back here behind the mineral line here. Well, you can fight through that? What? Oh, that's sick. Dude, in the future, I'm gonna, like, when I do Gateway first, I'm gonna, like, put a Zealot here so I can hit drones from behind the mineral line. That's awesome. I just learned something. We got Simo in the chat pointing out the production tab and how much, like, Zerg is, like, struggling to get things done in this game. Protoss is so much stuff coming. All the tech is coming. All the upgrades are coming. There's 4 gateways, but to be 5 gateways. This, like, I guess this pylon will have to be destroyed for goons to get out later, but that's fine. They're double expanding now, trying to make up for losing that 3rd base. Protoss's army is still going to be pretty dangerous, I think. Like, we're seeing Storm Gonna have a lot of gateway units, and like Hydras are like just now coming out on the field because that gas was so late. Like I think that if Protoss wants to be aggressive again, yeah, they're going to be able to get away with it. Zealots are back on the map. Looks like they're going for that same base. Just a handful of Hydras being made. Drones trying to come out to support these bases. And again, yeah, this third base is completely undefended, and the Zealots got here without being seen. Looks like iamsacul was trying to take a third base of their own, but these cheeky little lings did shut it down. Another hatchery falls here. This larva. By the way, what are larvae made of? Like, why don't they just, like, give larva a spit attack, and then the Zerg would be undefeatable, right? Like, 10 armor. Whatever they're made of, just build your lings out of that, and you're good. Alright, Zerg is scrambling to get that tech back up. We see the lurker aspect on the way, but also the observatory. So a big part of what lost iamsacul game 2 was the late detection. Let the lurkers get set up. That will not be happening again here. iamsacul going for the high ground third. Definitely a lot easier to defend than this one. Like, this one is so close, but it's so open, and it's mineral only. Like, this base sucks. It's gross. Oh, the DT lets all the drones go by, and there's detection in the base. Super sad. But I like this due diligence here from our Protoss player. Trying to keep tabs on where and when Zerg's expanding, such a huge part of this matchup. I mean, right now it's 3-3, and like I keep saying, that's great for the Protoss player. Once again, we're seeing a huge army of Zealot Templar. And once again, I'm going to say that you really should mix in some goons a lot earlier. Because, like, even if it was just against pure Hydra, like, there is kind of a diminishing return on Zealots, because they are going to, like, get in each other's way, and, like, there might not be enough surface area for all of them, but, like, goons and Zealots together, they complement each other pretty well. So I think, what do you have, like 16 Zealot or something? Like, make goons even if you haven't seen lurkers yet. No, take out this pylon! Now you're good to do this whole little maze thing. Oh no. Alright, whatever. Not a huge deal. Supply is huge for Protoss. 70 probes this time. We saw 65 in game 1. So Protoss definitely feeling pretty good right now. We saw some really good storms in game 1, had some difficulty with that in game 2, but given that we have observers now, and given that bekrul has not really powered nearly as hard as they were able to do in game 2, I think this army is going to be very dangerous. There, we do have the first goons coming out, helping out here. Corsairs trying to get damage done. Actually, we have 7 Corsairs? Alright, I can tell you that you don't need 7 Corsairs when there's no air units at all. So trying to fight in this choke is a nightmare. Don't do it. There's so many lurkers here. Don't waste your time trying to fight that. There's only 1 lurker here, so maybe like with a 6, it's 2 lurkers here. With a 6 storm, we can maybe clear it out. This is a situation where you maybe try to get some storms if there's units that are out. but you mostly just keep the Zerg from expanding again and expand yourself. There we go. The goons might have a chance. Like goons, like I said earlier, like you like put them on hold position here, and they eat this layer, and then they eat this layer, and then you can storm the Hydras when they try to kill your goons, and they eat this layer. The goons are actually very good at breaking into these super turtley bases. Trying to snipe some more Templar, but not able to do it this time. Another bro Ling. We're seeing bekrul put a lot of effort into this, bro. No, don't do it, bro. This is ridiculous. This is like unbreakable, man. Don't do it. No, so many Protoss brothers dying for nothing, but big storms though kills a bunch of Hydras. But oh god, it doesn't work. Like you just need Reavers or very patient goons to kill a base like that, but like you also don't have to, right? Like it's 3 bases to 3. Like you can chill. Like you could maybe try to do a drop if you want to put some kind of damage on. One thing you can do is like if you're here and then you go here to try to threaten this base, the Zerg might bring their units from this base to try to flank you when you go here. So like you like move here and then come back to fight the reinforcements. So that way you get a fight on the open ground. That's pretty good. We saw some Hydras, I think, try to go snipe some more Templar, but it did not work. Okay, we're seeing the probe train head down to the bottom left. So we are going to get a 4th base. And look at this! Look at this. iamsacul is listening to me. Is doing what I said to do. There's a lurker here on the high ground, which is annoying, but... Oh, did we lose our observers again? I think that might have happened. That DT gets cleaned up. Are there really no observers? No, that's unfortunate. So that this Protoss army will have to back up here. 4th base. Oh, there's a Ling here blocking the Nexus. The probe. Why are there 7 drones at this probes at this base? What is going on? This Protoss army is trying to deal with all the rough terrain on this map. All these little chokes, all these ramps. It can be a problem. Trying to threaten this base instead, and like I said here, we have these reinforcement waves. Going, stop. Oh my god. It's like, I know that you want to kill Zerg, but this is not the way. DT and this Hydra are just hanging out. They're gonna become best friends and like inspire the 2 factions not to be at war anymore. We do have a replacement observer with the speed upgrade, so it can get here faster. But so yeah, so like here you like storm this, maybe you storm that, then maybe you have a chance, but very scary. No, this is not the way. Oh, there we go. All right, storming on the other lurker, and now it's just a few sunks, but a lot of the zealots have been chewed up, and the observer uses the speed upgrade to fly to its death faster. Oh, are we out of storm? No, we have a lot more storm. All right, actually, you know, so we have Steve Chug asking why people don't get D-Web. You know, honestly, like this might be the game for D-Web. It's a little bit late now. This whole Protoss army is going to get killed with another observer dies to storm. But oh my god, these storms are so good. So many Hydras are dead. Holy shit. Oh my god. But now, so the Zerg is up in supply. Well, they were for a few seconds. down on bases if this one can start. This Link is still here blocking it. It's just like a spider mine in PvT, just blocking your base. Zerg is going to try to take a fourth here, but this DT is ready. Looks like he's killed a couple of drones already. Oh, and he's going to give away his position. No, his buddy! His best friend, the Hydralisk. It was not meant to be. Zealot, though, he listed a drone in. Alright, so Protoss has to make something happen here to get back in this game. It's not like over yet, but the supply is scary. This space has been blocked forever. Zerg is trying to expand here, and they're going to get it, like, now that they know that there's a DT here. That Zealot that was over here in the top right has been cleaned up. Starting to look kind of scary here for Protoss. Have to change the game state in some way. We haven't seen drops at all this whole series, I think. Definitely want to mix those in. Especially because there's no... Well, there's a Spire, but there's no Scourge. Oh, we're getting the support base, so Reavers might be here. Definitely going to help in breaking these defenses and defending Protoss' own bases. Some more big storms on the Hydras. But where are the observers? The observers keep getting cut down here. There's actually no observer with this army. There's one over here, but it's dangerously close to being sniped. Somehow this DT has not been cleaned up yet. This base, oh my god. 11 lurkers. Alright, it's going to be real hard to break that one. Another observer is here. Getting the damage upgrade on these Reavers. So we're going to see a lot of Reavers this game. And like, it's good. Like, if you make a bunch of them, it's a good upgrade. Especially at breaking like sunks and lurkers. Alright, this army for Zerg in the middle of the map is not that strong, but the observer flies too far forward. Oh, but with the speed upgrade, manages to stay alive. Hydras are getting stormed. There's a lot of goons here. Zealots trying to find any possible way to die with no value. Like, getting stuck, and then diving into lurkers, and then running into a storm. Like, pretty much the worst case scenario for a Zealot. So finally, this base is being taken. That Ling died to a cannon. So actually, 2 bases are in the future for Protoss here. And that, like, that's in, you know, that's getting to the territory where Protoss can just chill. Doesn't have to kill anything for the Zerg, because eventually their army will just be too good with all of the AoE, but oh my god. Dude, forget about busting up this ramp. That's disgusting. By the way, we got Return in chat, aka Albert. Return had like kind of saved all of the admins this week, so definitely make sure that you show him some love, I guess. Show him that we all appreciate his help around here. And this low ground base gonna be harder to defend than these more defended base. Wow, harder to defend than that base that's easy to defend. All the Hydras are dead, right? That's what I meant. Base can go down. It's not as valuable as a gas base. Some Templar do get picked off. Oh god, the Protoss attention must be somewhere else, because the storm would have cleared up all these Hydras. So many Templars are going down. So much value being lost. There we go. There we go. Some big storms. Starting to get into that hive tech though. Getting adrenal glands. Oh, we do have the Defiler Mound. So game 1, there was a Defiler Mound, but no Defilers. So I definitely hope that we see those come out. I think it makes so much magic happen. Even have a Nidus Canal to the base in the top right. like, just forget about it. Like, it's just not possible to kill these bases. Just, you know, make sure that Zerg doesn't get this base, or this base, or this base. Maybe take, like, this one yourself. Build up more Reavers, build up more Archons. Like, it's gonna be a long game, but if you waste your whole army trying to kill these bases, it's not gonna go well for you. Like, this base, you can kill. Like, it's only like 6 lurkers on a flat ground. This is achievable. Do need an observer, though. Do we lose another one? There. Okay, it's there. I don't know if it's part of the same control group or anything. We do have another base for Protoss. Alright, you do want to take this out before too many creep colonies are here. And drops would be effective. At some point, I wonder if, like, getting recall is good. Like, man, I guess you could just drop this mineral line, but, like, if you recall here, storm these Hydras, and kill the Nidus, you can take out this base. Hydras are headed down here and try to backstab the bottom left, but 2 Reavers and a bunch of cannons. Pretty good, provided the Reavers actually shoot. Alright, sick. In this base, the natural in the top right is going to go down. Again, so this ramp, not as bad as this one over here at the 9 o'clock, but probably not worth charging up. Well, maybe some 6 storms. Alright, now it's suddenly only like 2 lurkers basically, and I guess this base is completely breakable, and I'm just bad. Huge storm on the Hydras. They're like trying to push past each other to get into that storm. This base is going to go down here unless there's some sick reinforcements out of the Nidus. Meanwhile, there's 3 Reavers at this base, but not much to back them up. We need more cannons. We need these probes to come out and fight, I think. We need these Scarabs to really pay off here. Protoss getting stuck on the ramp. Oh my god, goons, please. Now there is this Nidus here, but not a whole lot has come out. I don't know why these laser burrowed. I don't think it's going to help you, bro. Another observer gets stormed! No! Oh no. How sad. You'll have to leave. At least kill all the drones, dude. No! Here we are. Alright, we are pulling back for this. But it looks like this base here in the bottom left is going to go down for Protoss, and trading bases is something that Zerg will pretty much always do here. There's only 1 cannon here on the ramp. The last Reaver goes down. The next one is a long way out. Oh no! Protoss stream is crumbling. Zerg is lost some bases here, but is making Protoss pay for every inch. Another observer. Oh my god, these observers are so unfortunate. Drones are getting out. The storm on the Nidus Canal. It's a massacre on both sides, but these cannons are not going to help against these cracklings. We do finally have a defiler here. Yeah, I see Richard mentioning it in the chat, and like some people have mentioned it already, but like these players are like insanely strong for tier 2. Like the ability to like get all of these bases to produce like big armies over and over again despite huge fights, like it's awesome. Like this is a CPL success story. Like I'm sure these players have practiced a lot, they've been coached. You can tell that like they had like plans for this series, so it's just awesome. Like these have been some great games. Is looking pretty sad for Team Protoss right now though. There's 1 mineral only mining base. Zerg did lose 2 bases. Wait, hold on. Oh wait, okay. So there's actually I guess both players are on 1 mining base. Okay, and it's mineral only. So maybe it's not super sad for the Protoss team like I thought. You know, like somehow I thought there was more I guess Zerg like just mined out. So actually, okay, we still have a ton of Templar for the Protoss. Like I would turn like half of these Templar into Archons, man. Like they're not bad. Like you just need muscle right now. Oh, and we're re-expanding here to the top right. We got a pause 29 minutes into the game. There was a bug, and I don't think he's talking about software. There's like a bee in his house. You need to go kill it in the middle of this sick CPL series. Alright, this might actually be the last fight. Like suddenly, like I thought it was all like game over for Protoss after that exchange, but like getting this base in the top right defended by Templar and Reavers soon, and the whole army is close by. Like it's pretty good. Now Zerg is taking the bottom left. Protoss is going to get 2 bases out of this. So are we just going to see this game go for like another like 30 minutes? That Overlord is the deadest Overlord that there ever was. I'm still trying to find some kind of angle on this mineral only, but good luck trying to fit your army through that tiny little choke here. Missing like 1 Templar into storm some stuff. Probably gonna try to go here and then go through this ramp, or maybe even go down here to the bottom left to shut down these expansion. This expansion, the bottom left. Probes have made it to the base in the top right, so the Protoss economy is back online. There's a second Nexus here. Ooh, Ling's trying to get some damage somewhere, headed to that mineral only base. I heard a plague. Didn't hit too much actually. There's no defiler at this front. This one kind of got stuck on some train here or something. It's got 5 HP and the Protoss is leaving it alone. That's dangerous. But this bottom left base is undefended. Just a handful of Lings, no lurkers, no sunkens. Come on, don't leave it. No. Oh my god, after 31 minutes of game time, like these players are both just exhausted. There's units being left behind. There's just a few details that are being missed. There we go, this Filer. He had time to like call his loved ones and now he's just dead. This force from Zerg is not going to shut down this base anytime soon. There's 2 Templar here, a bunch of goons, a couple of cannons. And the real story is these 2 gas bases that Protoss is going to get. Now, like, but this base is kind of uncrackable at this point. Like, we need a ton of Lings and the perfect Dark Swarms to do it, I think. And this is still the only mining going on for Zerg. This base, wait, who almost killed this base? I guess there must have been like 1 Zealot here, and it died at 2 Hydras. Then Protoss like should definitely know about it. All right, finally got into the hill overlooking this mineral only. The Spore Colony from earlier is still going to be annoying to this observer. This base here is safe Protoss. Protoss is up to 3 bases again. But oh my god, this choke is just ruining this whole Protoss army right now. The observer gets sniped. Big storm goes down on the type, but there's no detection left here to deal with the lurkers at this mineral only. Do you know what, these players are exhausted right now? Like, this has been such a long series. Alright, there's only 2 lurkers here, and I think Protoss knows about this base again. But is there an observer? There's no observer. You know what? Forget about it. We can just run by it. No need to detect the building. No! No, what are you doing? You were there. Oh, no. Alright, we're just going to take this base, I guess. There we go. We got an observer. Okay, how many observers do you guys think have been built in this game? Like 20? And there's here we go. There's 2 more pulling up. It's like as soon as this observer is here, this base is gonna go out. And I think Zerg might just leave the game when this base is dead because this mineral only is drying up really fast. Oh, hey, we got grimZ in the chat. Unfortunately, we did cast your series first. It was very good, though. We're all very entertained. But this base here in the bottom left for bekrul is going to go down. I think this might be the end of this game, the end of the series, honestly. Another attempt at killing this base. Actually, you know, okay, so there's Darkstorm and a ton of Lings, but with some, there's plenty of storms here to clean them up. And oh my god, the storms clean up all of those cracklings. Defiler. Nope, it gets chased down by the goon and dies. Now we have the Protoss trying to take basically like 3/4 of this map here. It's not going to be too much here from Zerg to stop. Are we out of the storms? No, but focus is somewhere else. So these like this is how good defilers are. Like it's dead and it's still doing tons of damage. So defilers hit in the middle of the map. A nice surprise. Oh, and the Protoss army is being pulled in too many different places here, trying to cover a lot of ground, and these cracklings are going to clean up this whole base before the units of Protoss get back. Like, look at that, disgusting. Bring up into the main here just to buy even more time, trying to hit on different flank. This base, no, forget about it. Yeah, the lurkers are like, nope, not gonna try to break that. This base at the 12 o'clock, I think Zerg's been trying to take this for like 20 minutes. Are we seriously gonna see this game keep going? Like, I mean, like, I guess that another player should quit right now. Like, they have big banks, they have bases, like, they have enough army to not die. Like, there's so many lurkers here in this ramp. Like, this game is like not anywhere close to ending, I guess. A Protoss is definitely ahead. Well, all right, that's the ultimate caster curse, right? Right? Like, I was like, this game will continue, and then bekrul GG's. So I think the Zerg was definitely behind. Probably like a 20% chance of winning, I don't know. But either way, a 6 series. That was just series number 2. And it is going to go in favor of the Emu again. So we can update that. And then we're going to get to our next series. One that I've seen a lot of interest in here in the chat. And that's because it's Mutaller against JustBorisu. So you know it's going to be an entertaining match. Wait. Oh, yeah, you're right. I completely got the score wrong. My bad. So it is actually 1-1. No, you know what? I'm the admin. Like, I can just say what the score is, right? Like, you can't stop me. I'm the caster and the admin. Like, in reality, it can be whatever I want. I'm gonna change their team. Yes, a grimZ was cast. That was the first series. Whoop, hold on. Alright, I did it. Look at that. Players are in red and blue. In the top right, in the top middle of Neosylphid, it's the red Zerg Mutaller, the chat hero. And in the bottom left, the blue Terran, known for doing some insane stuff, known for nuking. It's the blue Terran player, JustBorisu. By the way, as for the order, I'm just going off the order of the folders in my replay file. I probably should have made it consistent with the overlay. Sorry about that. All right, so this is the first match today that does not have a Protoss, so the IQ level of this cast might have dropped very dangerously low right now. I remember when this map was played a lot. It was seen as good for mutas because of like the cliffs around your base, make it easy for mutas to approach, and then like the unnatural mineral line has a huge airspace behind it. But the short rush distance is normally pretty good for Terran. Zerg has to be extra scared all the time. I think this map does allow for walling in. I don't, like, it would have to be 2 depots, right? Like, maybe one here? I'm actually not sure at all. We need Neblime here on the cast. Here we go. Okay. 2 depots. So this could mean some kind of tech, like mech or 111, or the Goliath build or something. Because you don't really need to wall off if you're going bio, especially if you get the first scout off here. So we could see some shenanigans. Looks like Mutaller has a normal build here. Going hatch first, getting that pool. Probably going to go into 2 hatch Muta. That's like what 90% of Zergs go for. In the CPL, we sometimes see like lurker builds. They're a lot simpler to... Oh my god. That's not where that goes. Yeah, that's not where that's supposed to go. So we're just gonna get 3 barracks, I guess, to deal with the gas steal. I'm not sure I've ever seen that. Kind of funny. Like, I guess we're just gonna see a bunch of Marines, then I guess Zerg will get like a sunken colony to not die. Like, that's the smartest I can think about this. Is this barracks in vision? No. So actually, Mutaller sees this barracks, probably saw this barracks on the way in, but doesn't see this one. So are we going to see any kind of reaction to this? We see a very fast flare. Look at how much damage that SCV did before being driven off. Alright. I'm really curious. I don't know what we're going to see out of this game anymore. Alright, the gas is taken. Terran finally, in 4 minutes, to start their gas. The Marines are going to go out, I assume, trying to put some kind of pressure on Zerg as revenge. There are a few lings on the map. A creep colony started in the natural. Could make a sunk at any time. I don't know how many just Marines you need to take down a sunk, but I imagine it's a lot, especially there's not even stim. Alright, they are going across the map. 3 sunks. You know, that's going to feel good for Borisu to force that out of Mutaller, but is it enough? Like, is it enough to pay for being stuck on one base for so long with no tech? Like, look, like Borisu finally got their gas, and they just have to make an eBay, like, to not die to mutas. The Spire is coming along nicely. We do have the first 2 medics coming. That's gonna make it all these pushes from Terran a lot more threatening, but I think 3 stun guns is still more than enough. Getting that Natural Command Center stim is on the way. Did it really hanging out? I don't think they can kill it, right? Yeah. Maybe if range was on, I don't know. It's looking like a very, very standard 2-hatch meta here from Mutaller. Like, I wonder, like, the gas steal, was that because the expansion was late? The Zerg assumed it was a tech build. Is this something that they do every time? Is it something they do because it's Borisu and they didn't want to get nuked? I don't know. It's starting to look like a much more normal game from Terran. I feel like these mutas are maybe late. We only have 2 coming. Oh, okay. Okay. Here they are. 6 mutas going out on the map. This SCV, I guess, trying to check for a 3rd is my guess. We got Mutaller in the chat explaining that it was to delay any 2-rack stim timing. Okay. So this SCV that went out here does not find the right base with a drone in it. Very nice turret set up here, defending all of these depots, these tech buildings, and the main mineral line. The barracks are kind of undefended, which is scary. There's only 1 in the natural. I guess there's also a bunker hanging out in the mineral line. Oh, look at these mutas abusing the terrain on this map. Going to be popping in and out of the Terran vision like this, like so they can get close and get free shots. Really nice. Oh, and Lings are running in here, trying to dive on the mineral line, but the bunker defends both the ground and the air. Mutas, oh god, Mutas taking so much damage. 1 Muta left with 8 HP. Third base is coming online for Zerg. Hydra Den gonna get those lurkers out, and like lurkers on this ramp, forget about it, Terran. Yeah, we got a Mutaller mentioning that there was a bit of a lag in this game, and like that is something about playing online in general, but like especially CPL, when you know we have teams that are like kind of roughly regional, like you're gonna get bad ping in games. So sometimes we do see Zerg go for like 2 or 3 hatch lurker just to avoid dealing with that issue. But I always respect when Zerg players just a go for the mutas and get some value out of them anyway. But the mutas are back, not in so scary a number. Managing to delay the construction of that starport, always knowing, because like vessels completely changed this whole matchup. So we're seeing Borisu go for the, like, rather than 2 port vessel, like 1 factory tank and 1 port vessel push. I kind of don't get why people are doing that. Like, I guess it's so you can try to push before Defiler and break through sunken walls. I'm just not, like, I just feel like vessels are so good that delaying them to get some tanks is like, you have to get a lot of damage done to justify it. We have the Equitas on the way for Zerg. Lings run by a natural, but they go right into these Marines. The Mutas just watch them and fly off. Hive is on the way for Zerg. Defilers. So the thing is, like, normally a Defilers like save Zerg from dying, but BoriSu has been completely contained in his base for the entire game. So like Defilers might kill BoriSu. If there can be like a Dark Swarm in the Terra Natural, like that's basically checkmate. Oh, and we're not getting a Science Vessel, we're getting a Dropship, which is like such a ballsy move when there's been mutas all game. This third base has been up for so long and there's not even gas mining out of it. That's gotta be just a mistake there, right? Like, gas is so critical for Zerg in this matchup. There wasn't like a drop there that I missed or something, was there? And we just heard a bunch of scans from BoriSu. Looks like trying to find that third desperately. And just to scan like everywhere else. And there's the Defiler mount. The dropship manages to thread the needle here. The mutas went somewhere. They're in the middle of the map. There's already Scourge patrolling on the drop path here. But the dropship is it going to get lucky? Oh, wow, just barely makes it past those Scourge. Now this drop is going to be in the main mineral line. The drone and the tech buildings are going to be in danger here. Drones trying to pick off this Defiler man. The Lings are coming in. Marines trying to stay alive here. They do manage to run away from those lurkers, but not fast enough. Mutas, I think, are going to clean this up. Defiler man survives, but a bunch of drones die, and there's a lot of lost mining time for the Zerg. So this could be the start of a comeback for BoriSu, but it's not going to be enough to turn this game around. I like the Boxer Micro trying to get around that lurker, but the Cracklings should clean that up. Or, they're not crack yet, but the Lings cleaned it up. Gas is finally started at the third. You need that for all of these expensive high-tech units. Well, that first vessel and first tank are done for BoriSu. I'm worried that this tank push is going to be so late. Even if we wait for just two tanks, the Defilers are on the way already. There are also going to be two vessels. I didn't notice if Irradiate was on the way, but given that the energy upgrade is coming, I'm sure that Irradiate has been done already. Defiler at the third, keeping that lockdown. Alright, and BoriSu has been contained in his base the entire game. Finally has all the pieces of an army needed to bust out here. Somehow the units get stuck on pathing. It's one Marine. It's like stuck on the terrain outside from the rest of his group. Tank is trying to siege down these Sunkens. These lurkers are placed kind of funny. These ones try to run forward and dive on the tank. There's a D-Matrix on the Fire Bat. But a Dark Swarm here on the tank takes that out. Look at this hero Fire Bat. Just chilling under the Dark Swarm. Does get cleaned up by the Lings. Now it is a fourth base. Oh, nope, that's a bunch of Lings, not fourth base. Okay. And the Dark Swarm is here. There must have been an Irradiate from this Science Vessel, but not enough. Now my cat is getting tangled in my headphone cord. Give me a second. Alright. Hopefully I still have audio. Yes. Yes. Oh no! I'm about to say two more vessels here for a BoriSu, but the first one gets picked off by Scourge. Like, you can afford to lose Marines. You can't afford to lose vessels. Especially in this kind of game. So a bunch of Defilers. They're going to start to get microwaved here. right as it consumes a bunch of links. Nice. Oh, the irradiant almost killed 2 defilers. Nice. Kind of a backstab setup here. A dropship headed out to the army to elevate some units into the main of Zerg. Gets caught by these cracklings. More dropships. Like, I feel like you really want vessels at this point. But it could be a way to turn the game around. We're like bunker brushing a base that doesn't exist. I don't know what the bunkers are going to do here. They get Darkspawn immediately. Maybe if there are fire bats in them. It's so hard for Terran to deal with this spell. Like, you just need to kill all of the defilers. Hard to do that if you're spending all of your starport time on dropships. But we do have 2 dropships almost full with bio units. Head to the main. Defiler Mound and the Ultra Cabin are in danger. Scourge take out one of the dropships, but not before it's all dropped. The Marines are not really focusing their fire. The Ultra Cavern goes down, and the Defiler Mound. All of the Hive tech is going down here. The Hive itself could be in danger. This armor upgrade is going to go down. Wow, this... Okay, I was kind of memeing on these 2 dropships, but if you clear out the entire main, I mean, hard to argue with that. Where's all the stuff? It was all out on the map. Barista with the next stat move. Oh my god. Alright. Well, that's going to be game 1. Sick. That was ridiculous. Like, okay. Turns out Marines are pretty good. Alright, I'm going to take another quick break. Guys, sorry, it's been a long cast. We still got a bit to go. I gotta refresh. Be right back. Alright, I'm back. Hopefully my tiny bladder can hold out for the rest of this cast. Let's get to game 2 of Mutaller against Borisu. Sound. There we go. Alright, we're good. In the top left of Goodnight, it's the brown Zerg non-Mutaller. Oh, I screwed up my overlays. Oh. We did it. Alright. Sorry, guys. In the bottom left of Goodnight, in the blue Terran, it's JustBorisu. So yeah, I think we saw in the previous game why TVZ is such a hard and exciting matchup. Like, both sides are dealing with very fragile armies. Both sides have tech timings that they want to hit, and it's so easy to make one mistake and just have it cascade out of your control. See, Borisu walling again. This might just be the way that he likes to play. Zerg is going to get the first scout off. Always convenient. Seems like Mutaller is going for a hatch first again. Sure, we'll see 2 hatch muta. Is this an early scout for Terran? I actually don't know. I feel like you'd normally start the barracks before your scout, right? Conveniently, it is going to get to the Zerg first. This could be a sign that Borisu wants to take an early expansion, although it's actually overpool for the Zerg, which is interesting. I don't know, maybe Mutaller was worried about some kind of early aggression out of Borisu, like a BPS or AREX or something. Oh, and the eBay block! How rude. Oh, and the SCP randomly rotates the right way. Gets away here. Look at that, there's already 200 health on this eBay. And it can just get canceled at the last minute. That's rude. I love it. Oh, one of the drones goes home. I guess the Lings are going to come kill that eBay. Now it's gas before expansion due to this block. I mean, is Mutaller going to try to turn it into a normal game, or are we going to see something wild here, like some kind of one-hatch play now? The SCV comes back to add just a little bit of HP to the eBay, but gets taken out in the building. I'm not sure if that was a cancel or a kill. I think it was a cancel, given all this money we have floating. And the natural hatchery starts basically the same time as the lair. So Zerg is definitely messed up this time. Terran, meanwhile, does manage to get their own gas up, and it might be that kind of one base, 2 racks, stim push. By the way, okay, so I guess it would be smart for me to wait to see what happens in this game, but last week when my team was trying to figure out what strats should be done, I said that some of our Terrans should do this build, this one base 2 racks build, and they all said it was bad. But you know what? Borisu is out here doing it and out here making it work. So clearly I was right as a Protoss player. Clearly I understand this matchup better than them. We do have I guess a 2.5 hatchery build here. Probably just an adaptation to getting blocked on the natural so hard. But this 3rd hatchery is going to be built early on in base here. It does well, okay, so in a normal game, it delays your mutas, but you get a bit more drones and more mutas. I don't know how it works out when you get an eBay in your natural. This Overlord from Mutaller is out here, sees that the natural is not built, knows that some nonsense is coming. Ooh, canceled the hatchery. That's interesting. I wonder if he just like needed the money for the sunks, or like you just don't need 3 hatches against 1 base. Interesting. Did not expect that. I do wonder though, like, could there be a command center here, like, and the Overlord wouldn't see it? I'm actually not sure. Like, if there was like 1 tile of the command center, would the whole building be revealed? I don't know. I've been playing this game since 2001, and I don't know how anything works. Terran is moving out here. They're going to be 4 sunks, so forget about busting that. Well, the eBay is done in the main here of JustBorisu, just in time to survive these mutas. Oh, but you know what the eBay won't help with? 10 lings running into your main. There's 1 Marine here at the top of the ramp. An SCV trying to block, but Marine gets picked off before he can run. There's 2 more Marines coming out of these barracks. Oh, but they're rallied. And the army of Borisu has to come home. There's no way that he can try to base trade here. The 4 sunks at the natural up Terran. Maybe this is what those Terran players were talking about. The mineral line is cleared out here. This is critical damage here. There's only 8 SCVs for Terran. 7. Oh, where are we dying? Okay, we have 7. They're trying to run out of here. They get saved by the army, but this is pretty brutal. The mutas are on the way. Oh my god, Borisu just expands anyway. What a god. But there's a bunch of mutas out. There's only 2 turrets. They only cover this part of the main mineral line. The Marine production has been shut down for a while here. This is a dark times for Borisu. The Mutaller just comes in here, immediately picks off the SCV building that command center. Getting some good micro here on these mutas. There's no turrets here to punish this kind of micro. There you go. Does find the turrets. Oh no, tries to run past him to find an area in the mineral line that's not protected, but it was this ninja turret. But still plenty of mutas here. And that command center was canceled because Borisu realized there was no way he was going to get that done. SCV tries to get out on the map to scout for the 3rd, and the mutas find it right away. And meanwhile, there is going to be a 3rd here. Looks like it's going to be pretty close to the Zerg base, but I think it's probably fine here. Muta's finding exposed bio units here, just going to annoy Borisu for as long as possible. And this is, you know, we got here in a different way, but it's still looking a lot like game 1, where Borisu's kind of been bullied all game here. A Mutaller finding lots of ways to just throw wrenches into this 2-Rex push that Borisu wants to do. That turret burned down? Oh no. Meanwhile, the Hydroden and the Evo Chamber are on the way. Upgrades are going to come out for Zerg. Get ready for those Ultras eventually. Definitely going to have plenty of time for that, because Borisu is not going to be able to push for a long time here. There's just so few SCVs. Oh, and more are getting picked off by these mutas. Risu cannot get a break here. A Mutaller taking a lot of damage. But, I mean, I guess it's worth it to when you have 3 times as many workers as your opponent. Borisu is just determined to keep going up this tech tree. Not opting for the machine shop out. Like, can you even afford a vessel? Like, do you get a Valkyrie? Do you just, I don't know, you just make Marines and hope? I don't know what you do when you have 9 SCVs here. The fact that the Mutas took so much damage from trying to fly over the turrets could be the breathing room to give Borisu a chance to do something. Alright, what do you guys think of the odds that Borisu just makes a dropship and wins the game again? Like, despite everything that's happened, just lands in the main, kills all the buildings, and then is like, alright. GG. Alright, so you never want to be building a bunker in your main at 11 minutes into the game. Definitely not a good feeling. We have lurkers being morphed on this ramp as if there's ever going to be Marines that can reach that base. Looks like we are going for vessels. And no, when we are getting those tanks, which makes sense, I guess. I mean, like, you're not going to wait for like a cloud of vessels. You want to get something done as soon as possible, but like, do you have money for a tank and siege mode and vessels? A few new mutas being added to the flock here. The Queen's Nest is on the way. Hive Tech is going to be coming. It's looking darker and darker for Borisu. Lings are coming up here, like, oh, and okay, and a bunch of lurkers. Now this is gonna be rough to get lurkers up here to break this, but like you don't even have to, right? Like, Terran's on one base, but I guess the Mutaller just wants to win this game. Burrowing here on the ramp. The SCVs are not even trying to be pulled. They would get chewed up anyway. There is this army here in the main, but we have scans, I guess. But note that a vessel is only halfway down. There's so many lurkers that, like, even if they weren't hidden, I think they would just win the fight anyway. Yeah, only 2 of them burrow and still doing terrible, terrible damage here. Main mineral light. Yeah, see, they're burning right by these turrets, and it just doesn't matter. There's so much here from Zerg. The Mutaller is basically telling Borisu to Naga right now. A tank does come out. Could maybe outrange the lurkers, but just Borisu hits him with the triple G. And we're going to go to game 3 again. 3 times in a row today. These are all, like, such good series. Like, very evenly matched. Alright, we're gonna head into game 3 of Borisu and Mutaller. We're back on butter. In the top right, once again, the blue Terran, JustBorisu. And in the bottom right, not making any drones, it's the red Zerg Mutaller. And I'm afraid if you 4-pool, you have to join our team 4-pool lifeguards. Right? Like, you just have to. It's just how the rules work now. Alright, so we saw this. Okay, spoilers. We saw this recently in a tournament, and it was a really funny game. The Zerg did not win though. But is Borisu going to be ready? I think, if I remember from that match, the Terran ideally would not want to wall. Like, this kind of punishes a wall because the Lings can kind of cut you off, right? Like, if it's out in the front, the Lings are going to get there faster. It's going to be harder to bring guys to repair. I don't know if it's link tight. I have no idea if it's link tight with the depot and barracks. I think maybe I obviously game where it was. It's still hard to repair through that, and you can't repair an unfinished building. So I guess we're all going to discover together if you can wall this. The spawning pool is done. The 4th drone was remade. We have 6 Lings on the way. The SCV is going to get there just in time to see them leave the base. Alright, the SCV wants to block here. The Lings do not want to waste time on this, and actually does a decent job. You know, every frame that you can buy is going to pay off here. And if this isn't link tight, like, I'm sure you can like put an SCV here and deal with it. We're getting a second barracks rather than a bunker. I mean, you can't build a bunker till the barracks is done, but I would have assumed it was a bunker. Looks like Borisu doesn't know. He's like, well, I'll just try to block all the potential paths anyway. And here come the Lings. Is it tight? No, is it not tight? No, the Lings get in. The first Marine could get surrounded here. This SCV trying to build a bunker. The Marine run. He has to run. Oh no, the Lings are cleaning up everything. I think Mutaller's done it. The SCV is coming here to fight. The bunker gets destroyed, not even canceled. And JustBorisu hits him with the quadruple G. the good game triangle from Borisu, and Mutaller takes it. Absolute brutality there in game 3, but that is going to be another series for the Korean mechanics. I mean, I guess we have Mutaller in the chat, so we can find out. But like, was that planned from the beginning? Was it a reaction to the walls? Was it just, I'm so exhausted of playing, I just want to get out of this game? Alright, we have one series left, and I actually had to go into my Discord DMs to download it. Because the files I got first were corrupted. But Simo, who's in chat, was kind enough to get these to me. Alright, Mutaller explains A, saw it in the ASL. B, just wanted the fast game. I respect that. Hey, we got iamsacul in chat. It was really cool to see your series earlier. It's good to see like people are like really hyped up at their teams this time. Sick. Alright, we're getting into the series. It's Simo against Mawthu. And I didn't fix the scores. Oh god. Alright, there we go. And in the bottom left, the Teal Protoss. Oh. Alright, the Teal Protoss Simo. And the bottom right, the Purple Terran Mawthu. So if you didn't know, Simo casts frequently. Did some casting for the RSL. Likes to cast on the weekends. So definitely tune in for that. By the way, I just realized I don't think I've ever said, like, in these games who's on what team. So let me, now that we're almost done, it is Mawthu for the UED and Simo for the Korean Mechanics. We saw a PBT on this map in the very first game that we watched tonight. It was a FD against the Cannons. I don't imagine we'll see exactly that again. I actually tuned into Simo's stream when he was practicing for this set. He was playing by himself, trying to like hit certain timings in 15 minutes, like so many nexuses and get an arbiter and stuff like that, which is like objectively good practice, but I could never do it. Like I could never like make myself just play single player. It just doesn't feel good. Now it looks like standard openings from both players here. I like how Mawthu had the guy waiting by the gas. Like maybe it was to prevent a gas steal, or maybe it was just getting ready for the next step of the build order. I know I tend to like pull my workers too early to build buildings because it doesn't feel as bad as when you just miss the timing and you have like 200 minerals when you go to put down your gateway. That just feels bad. Ooh, getting a zealot first, I don't know. I have such mixed feelings about going zealot first. It's like either you kill so much stuff and you feel like a god, or like you kill nothing and you feel like an idiot. Like there's very little middle ground. Especially because like I'm pretty sure you can wall on this map, so that would make it feel extra bad. I think we actually saw this from GeforceTesla on this map, so maybe, I mean, I think in the whole series, so maybe this is what the Protosses on the Korean Mechanics practice. They all got their early Zealot. I mean, it would make sense, because if you have Korean Mechanics, like, you're going to get some value out of the Zealot. Right. So Mawthu does get in the main here. Scouts this very normal looking base from Protoss. Ooh. Oh, the Zell has like a very, very narrow window of time to get in here before this bunker finishes. Making some damage done on these Marines. Ooh, gets one before, even before he can get in there. And then backs off. He probably wanted to keep going, but you know what? If you get a Marine and just go home, that's nice. That's always annoying. But you know what? That's an awfully early bunker. Like, right? Like, there's no command center here. We saw this earlier. We saw a 2-factory on Butter with a fake-out bunker. So maybe we're seeing some shenanigans here. And actually, we're going up to 3 gateways on one base. So this is not a normal-looking game at all for Protoss. We do have the command center, so it is it is an honorable build from Terran. But 3 gateways on one base. This is oh, sorry about that. I'm pretty sure this is all in. Yeah, 3 gateways and a robo. This is a PvP build, not a PvT build. So we are going to see Simo try to kill this bunker and kill this Terran. As Refrigerator points out, I think this might be like the original definition of Bulldog build. Like, nowadays, a Bulldog is like anytime there's a shuttle in a Terran base, but like, I think back in the day it was just like this one base bust. Now, I like how this Goon is just sitting here killing this bunker. Well, the Vulture kills the Zell. We have Goon number 2. I don't think Terran has any idea what's going on here. We have the Goon in the choke even from Simo, which is a nice touch, but like rallied units might get screwed up here. Yeah, and there's a shuttle with no support base, so not going to be Reaper drops. And Scoot is blocking all of his buddies in here. Looks like Simo fixed it. As Simo mentioned in chat, did want to keep that Zelda alive It's a lot better to drop zealots than to drop goons, but we can make some more. Ooh, the tank dealing a lot of damage to this goon. Simo's looking somewhere else. Every unit counts right now. Like, it's good to get damage on the tanks, but it can get repaired. It can't repair the whole damage on the goons. Oh, the SCV tries to scout back in. It gets killed. This vulture might try to lay some mines here shortly, or might try to run into the main, but it's only one hit away from death. Now, siege mode is up, which is really handy, but this tank is so far forward. So even without a shuttle, it's definitely in danger of being sniped, especially because we didn't repair it all the way. I hate Terra players. You can repair your units, like, please. It's so critical right now. Like, why would you not repair your one siege tank? Oh, man. The eBay is coming up. Turrets could help against that shuttle. Could also be trying to hedge bets against Dark Templar. I can guarantee you this vehicle weapons upgrade is not going to be done. By the time this Bulldog starts, the shuttle comes in. I didn't even notice it coming. Gets the first tank. The goons are picking out the bunker. This tank is retreating from these zealots. There's no reaction from mawthu. Just now the workers are pulled. Zealots are just going to stalk that tank until it dies. Goons make their way in. The workers do not try to drill. There's only one factory here. These five goons will make quick work of these tanks. This tank is still going. Oh, it gets stuck on the corner. The goons pick it off. This tank siege is down here, but these goons are going to clean it up really easy. There's even a Nexus coming down at the natural Fort Protoss. So even if this, you know, if all these goons were to die right now, this is still a great position for Protoss. Zealot is still in the mineral line cleaning up these SCVs. It actually gets cleaned up by the SCVs. These SCVs are killing more Protoss units than, like, the tanks and vultures combined. Now we're doing a good job drilling on these goons, but they're not surrounded. They can kite out of here. Tank, though, might clean the rest of these up. So what is going to be the follow-up here? Protoss is ahead. A few workers managed to reset the count. Probably would have wanted to just end the game there. We still have 3 gateways. We still have a robo. We have an observatory now. I'm pretty sure Protoss can take a third right now. Like, I mean, Terran has 2 tanks and 1 factory. Like, they're not going to move out anytime soon. If we double expanded, I think Protoss will be way ahead. Right now, I'm not. It's definitely a bit ahead here. Oh, well, looking at the work count, alright, it's much better for Protoss now. At one point, the worker lead was not that significant. Now, this goon is real dumb, walks right into these 2 tanks. There we go, the 3rd base is going up. If Nebulheim were here, he would say that whoever takes this base is cursed. But, yeah, so, I mean, I actually don't like this because it's, like, on the attack path, so, like, if Terran does bust out, this base is going to die. But I also don't think Terran's ever really going to bust out anytime soon. There's only 1 factory. We're only going to be at 3 tanks at 9 minutes. There's 3 gateways. There's a shuttle. Protoss basically has complete map control for a long time here. Well, this tank, I thought it was going to be rallied out here. It's going to be real sad. And you know what? I joked about the +1 attack, but it's already done. Terran units scale so well with those upgrades. We also have a Forge coming for Simo. Could we get that upgrade? Could be to defend against potential drops. That would be something I'd be worried about. I'd be worried about, like, that is one way Terran could come back if they got, like, a nasty drop-off. So you just put a cannon in each mineral line. That's probably okay. Although I guess there's an observer in the Terran main, so I guess you know there's no starport, so maybe I'm just bad. But, so maybe we're both bad because there's a cannon in the main and natural mineral lines. Starting to add on some more factories now, going up to 4. Normally starts to get kind of scary, but when they're built like 4 minutes ago, not in 10 minutes. This turret might get this observer, which actually could be a big deal. No, it stays up. Like, Simo wants to see if more factories are added or a third command center. Because, like, 4 is the most that you would get on 2 bases without expanding. Or without doing, like... Yeah, it's the most you would get without expanding, I think. Or with expanding. Jesus, I'm tired. Sorry, guys. That observer does go down. So Simo's going to be in the dark for kind of a critical phase of the game right now. Tank count is starting to grow. Goons, at this point, like, I don't know, leave the observer here. I don't know. I never feel good leaving goons too close to tanks like this. Like, you're not really threatening Terran with these goons when there's so many tanks at this point. There's like as many tanks with our goons. So I guess either reinforce or back off. The +1 attack is coming. Vulture speed's on the way, and when you see the Vulture upgrades from a Siege expand build, this could be a sign that a push is coming. Yeah, we're going up to 6 factories, and that +1 upgrade is is finished already. So we took kind of a funny route to get here, but this is potentially a dangerous 2-base push. There's only 5 gateways. The Arbiter Tech is starting, will not finish before this push comes out, if it doesn't need to come out. There's a decent amount of goons on the field already. Definitely want a few more gateways to deal with this. We can definitely start throwing in some DTs like we saw in our first game tonight. Oh, the tank's coming out here. Oh, there's nothing in that shuttle. I think if there was Zealots in that shuttle, like, Terran would lose the game right now. But Simo decides to play it safe. Just takes a few goon hits, but this is such a precarious position for both players right now. These fights are going to be very swingy. So much high damage going around. And like I said earlier, like, the position of this third is going to make it much harder for Simo to buy time here. Once they get here, it's very threatening. But managing to pick off some vultures as mawthu moves around the map. Definitely don't want to get stuck in this high ground. I'll tell you, it would be very unfortunate. The Arbiter Tribunal is almost done. We have 4 more gateways in production. This is what we're going to need. Zealot Legs is almost done, and Zealot Legs is so good against these pushes, especially if the mines are not cleaned up by Terran. These goons here are kind of split. They're kind of trapped here. This is a lot of units to lose. Yeah, this is a big mistake by Simo. I think they were trying to retreat this way, but they cut off. Oh, trying to mine drag, but not quite. Here we go. The Zealots are coming in. Actually kind of stuck behind goons here. They're coming in from 2 angles. Can we get on top of the tanks? A huge mine drag. And mawthu taps out. I know this was top versus bottom, so as usual, we're going to give it the benefit of the doubt there. I like how long this replay keeps going. Yeah, and that is going to be game 1. So we're going to go to game 2 here on Good Night. It was funny because I said I watched Simo practice for this series. It was not a bulldog. It was like a quick expansion build, trying to go into a big macro game. So it's pretty funny. I wonder if that was like part of the mind games of streaming practice. Here we go in the bottom right of Good Night, winning the last game. It's the Teal Protoss Simo, and I appreciate the clan tag here for the Korean mechanics. In the top right, in the purple Terran, is mawthu. All right, so if you get bulldogged as a Terran player, what do you do next game? Like, do you just say, fuck this guy and go 2-fac? Like, I don't know, what do you like do to be safe against a bulldog? Like, do you go more vultures? Do you go more tanks? Do you get like a bunch of turrets? Do you like wall off? I don't know. Oh, but everything looks very standard again. Getting this gateway here is Simo. It's getting kind of early. Like, it's normal to scout like after core or scout with your first goon. So I'm always curious when people scout really early in this matchup. We saw I forget which Pro S player. Check this list of names. iamsacul, I think. Or, no, a Tesla got the first scout off and then chose not to gas steal. And at that point, like, why are you even doing this? I don't know. But Simo gets the first scout off. Oh, but the gas is already started for mawthu. I think maybe Simo was trying to go for that, getting the movement of that probe. And I think this is the build that I saw Simo doing on stream. This is one of those like newer builds. This Nexus on 16 off of one Zealot. But it is scouted by mawthu, so what will mawthu do about it? It's always really scary for Terran when Protoss does this kind of expand. I haven't seen this, so I don't know what the exact response is, but normally it's like the correct response is just like pull the boys, like Marines and SCVs, and then like ideally rally a Vulture, because Vulture's really good in these kind of fights. But here the boys have been pulled very early here. Zealot just like turns around. Ooh, the Zealot and the probe managed to get a hit on these Marines. That's so huge. The Zealot's trying to tase this Marine to death here. Or the probe is. The SCVs are going to make it here. Oh, there was a bunker. I didn't even notice the bunker was built here. It's gonna... These workers are like competing who can destroy or repair it the fastest. Big thing is you want to block the Marines from getting in. Oh, they get in, but this one is going to try to get in. Actually kind of blocked by his own SCVs. Simo abandons a natural here rather than lose a bunch of probes in the fight. And like this might be okay. Like it's like killing the natural like kind of like resets the game, right? Like is it even good for Terran? Because like they lost so much mining time, they lost money for the bunker. Like Protoss like, still has their tech. There's a Zealot trying to threaten the base of Terran, like might try to expand, but the Zealot here is going to do a lot of work. Combined with the probe, with the micro that we've seen already from Simo, trying to get hits on this Marine. The probe wants that Marine so bad. Oh my god, he got it. Disgusting. Terran is in trouble here. Like, oh, there's even a goon trying to run past the bunker. I don't know about that one, Chief. But mawthu decides to go back home rather than force the issue in the Protoss main, which I think might be a mistake. I think maybe you try to bunker rush the main, I don't know, and just try to drill your heart out on this Zealot, who's currently going unopposed in the mineral line. 4 kills, 5 kills. So I'm doing a lot of work to keep this guy alive. The Vulture is going to be here. Yeah, like you didn't need to pull everything, right? Like I think maybe like when you kill that goon, you just charge up the ramp and try to bunker rush the main nexus. Otherwise, like this game's gonna be real dumb. Okay, here we go. Speaking of real dumb, we got peak Protoss coming out of the Simo. Make a fast nexus, lose it, and then go DTs. Let's go. Alright, so that hero Zealot was taken out. mawthu building a bunker in his own expansion this time. Getting this command center up. Oh, the battle probe! It's still not. I didn't even notice the battle probe is still here. It's just out of vision, waiting for the chance to strike here. The natural nexus is being rebuilt. We have an eBay in production. So, mawthu might be aware of the levels of nonsense that Protoss can't get up to. Alright, look, I noticed in the chat we have a Mutaller noticing there's a crack on the cybercore. I think it's just like the it's not like damage, it's like the pattern of the panel or whatever it is. Yeah, come on, this is Protoss advanced, like, engineering. We don't have cracks and stuff. By the way, thank you for the follow, Mana Dog. The battle probe gets taken out by the Marines in the bunker, but not before confirming the Central Command Center. Oh my god, Simo. I thought you were practicing a macro game. What is this? Like, you're just like, I'll go DTs and sneak a base on the map. It's like I thought you were like, I'm going to practice my 15-minute max out with Arbiters. Like, no. Invisible men. Deciding not to send a DT in, given this turret. 4 Marines in a bunker, does that kill a DT? Like, if you were to run, like, in the optimal route like this, I think the DT would get by, and there's no turrets in the main. Oh my god, we're about to see that. Is this the caster bless? Oh, these units got here just in time to stop it. Killing the bunker's not going to do it. Alright, that was caster curse. Alright, we're good. Alright, another turret is up. mawthu probably feels pretty good about that. Like, I imagine, like, you have to chuckle, like, you just see a DT walk into your turret and die. You're not going to chuckle about this third base. Terran's, like, not even thinking about scouting the map right now. Like, this E-base looking for drops, and that's it. Now, as we mentioned in the chat, this kind of DT build does transition pretty well into Arbiters. So it's not complete waste. It's Vulture here, trying to pressure on the map, trying to deny the reasonable third base, but this third base is already up. And one problem with having base so far away is you can't transfer probes. At least not safely, not without giving away where your third is. Vulture manages to live for now. Once again, mawthu is just trying to claw back into this game after a weird beginning. Going into 4 factories. Going for a push here with just 3 tanks. Hopefully rallying vultures from these factories, because this is not a lot of units. And is there scan? Oh, there's no scan, and you know that there's DTs. That's scary. Like, there's not even that many mines out. There's just these 2 vultures. Like, if we saw more DTs from Simo, this could get really scary. Oh, wait, are we? The double archives build. Sick. Alright, anyway. This push is coming in from mawthu, and all the Protoss units are getting melted. Simo didn't even know in the chat. It must be like, because your brain was in 2 modes. It was in like Dark Templar mode, and then you're like, alright, macro modes make Arbiters. I have to get the archives. It's okay, because it makes DTs build twice as fast, right? Because you might need that real soon here. This is looking pretty scary for a Protoss here. Like, there's just 3 goons against 3 tanks and some support. There's even a turret going up. The SCVs were killed, and there we go. This DT might decide the game here. One coming along in the pipeline. Zealots slow walking over these tanks. They managed to get on there. The friendly fire takes out one of the tanks. That's big. But once again, the National Mineral Line is being evacuated. Oh my god, the fact this turret is not done. I wonder if these Zealots, are they just rallied? Or are they trying to clear out these mines? Here we go. The DT is here. We have a scout in production, and it actually makes sense. It's not just a meme. It actually makes sense here. Oh my god. The DT is going to do it. No SCVs were sent to finish. Here, this SCV wants to finish the turret so bad. He's not going to make it. Well, the Might might get this DT. No, it's 6 health. Huge mind drag. Gets a DT and a bunch of vultures. Oh my god, is the scout going to save the day? Is this a real game? Oh my god. I like how he tried to mine again. And oh, what happened? This goon killed that tank? Are you serious? Oh, the turret's up. The scout is here, but the turret gets up just in time. The classic anti-scout turret. Oh my god, don't just die. Scout just died to the turret. What is going on in this game? The vultures try to lay mines. They kill themselves with their own mines. Is this a hold? Was losing the scout and the DT into holding the game? Oh my god. What a game. We have scout number 2 coming. It's not a fluke. Is there an armory? Like, no, there's no armory, so there actually is not going to be any anti-air with any kind of future push coming in too soon. The vultures are still trying to find that third base. I don't think mawthu's even looked at this part of the map. No. There's actually a decent level of saturation here. Cannons are starting to come up. 55 probes on 3 bases. Then the second natural nexus was not destroyed. The armory is coming to deal with the scouts and the starport. What if we see Wraith for a scout in this game? Like, can you imagine? Oh man. Terran getting their third base. So the thing with this build is that the Terran did, like, it's not 100% all in, but it had to do more damage than it did. Like, the worker count was delayed, the tech is delayed. I think not even a +1. Like, Terran is so far behind their game plan where they want to be, and now, like, Simo was down to 0 units like a minute ago, and now there's goons all over the place. They're pushing out, taking out these mines, getting stock of what's going on the map. We have that stasis coming. I don't think we're going to hit that 15-minute max out timing. The eBay that was scouting for drops is going to get taken out. We'll have to get rebuilt for turrets at some point. No, never mind. It's going to be saved, I guess. We'll check on that in a minute. And now a 4th base is coming up. The Great Wall of Pylons is here. mawthu is going to feel so sad when they scout the bottom left. Oh, well, I can feel so sad about this. Vultures get by despite the pylon wall at the natural and the goons. Trying to kill probes here, not getting a ton of kills, but do some damage. I think this is not worth losing all of those vultures. But definitely annoying. We saw a second scout get built. Was it canceled? Did it go somewhere? Did it die again? Like, I think it must be canceled. Goons killing these vultures, which is, you know, we like to meme about how vultures are free, but you still want them to be alive. You don't want to throw them away like this. Losing all these mines is a big deal. It's hard for Terran to get any kind of map control or to feel safe. The eBay died. It was not repaired. We have +1 coming and a second armory, so mawthu just trying to set up for a long game here. Maybe not aware of the base count of Protoss, but at some point, like, you gotta, like, suspect. We try to scan. No, it did not go down there. First Arbiter is here. I'm still laughing about the double archives. We saw stasis being researched earlier, and now we have recall coming. My cat is being a pain. Excuse me real quick. There we go. So I'm like sitting at my desk, and he's like on my lap, and he's like trying to push the desk over, I guess. I don't know what he's doing. Anyway, the vultures do find the base in the bottom left, but it is completely locked down. No vultures are going to get through here. We even see more cannons being added. Just no way that's going to go down. We have EMP coming along, actually the 4th command center, as these vultures are cleared out. So mawthu kind of knows that they can't go on the map right now, at least with their tanks. Like, again, I don't like throwing away all these vultures, especially when the supply is so far behind. So kind of just taking a gamble here, I would say, trying to make the game go really long, get more time to max out, and Saimo has not really been aggressive at all. Like, we saw clearing out the mines, but no attempt to actually threaten Terran. So, I mean, technically, given enough time, Terran can maybe catch up. By the way, I guess the Robo Rally is set to the middle of the map because there's 3 observers hanging out. Oh, the DT kills the 4th! The DTs come back from the beginning of the game. You thought they were gone. They're still annoying. Oh, there's some tanks here in the middle of the map. mawthu being really breaker, getting a huge volley. Taking out some goons here, but I really hope this isn't trying to kill the bottom left, because tanks are going to get so exposed. Oh, trying to get a mine drag on these tanks, but the mines do the right thing. Some slow zealots here. There's actually a lot of tanks. Like, Saimo doesn't want to throw away too many units for free. I mean, both sides have been kind of loose with their units after the very stressful early game. Tanks getting stuck on the terrain. It seems to be like the defining feature of this map. It pretty makes everything hard to get around. The tanks do get set up. Once those zealots die, Saimo wisely retreats out of range of the tanks. Oh man, this is so risky. Like, to split up your tanks like this, like trying to kill a base across the map is just such a dangerous move. Like, maybe try to drop instead. It's way less risky. Saimo trying to build up an army to fight these tanks, and I think like with an arbiter, we have 2 arbiters. We have one set up for recall at some point. There's not a whole lot of defense here, but I think really it's going to be about this fight. All these tanks undefended. There's no vultures. There's no mines here. There's just the terrain, which honestly is the most dangerous thing to goons in general. But tanks get on the tanks, or zealots get on the tanks. Goons clean them up, and Terran is at less than half the supply of Protoss. Recall Arbiter is still here. Oh, the DT. Oh, the mawthu remembered, scanned that high ground base to clear out that DT before trying to expand. Nice diligence. Oh, we have a recall into the natural, actually. The Arbiter just gets out. Zealots trying to get on these tanks. Goons kind of stuck behind minerals. Actually going to take a lot of damage from these tanks. Goons going to take damage from the tanks. Actually, I guess mawthu's just going to hold this recall. Kind of put the units in a trap here. But at the same time, this force is just going to walk up to the 4th base. Who needs recall when there's just a ramp? The 4th command center is going to get shut down again. Does get canceled. Recall is being cleaned up, but Saimo found a way to make use of it on the map. SCV thought he would be free. Oh no, okay. The Arbiter chooses to let him go. No, wait, does it? Does it? Well, you can't recall with this one, buddy. It's only got 100 health. Or mana. That one's ready for recall. That one is getting ready. What if we see, like, the double recall into this base from 2 different angles, and then both Arbiters die to turrets? That would be like one of my games. The 3rd base think it lifted at some point. I don't know if it was lifted to try to go to the 4th or something, or I don't think it got killed. Storm is on the way. It's gonna be really good when Terran's army is so small. It's gonna be hard to have it spread out and still be effective at all. Mawthu just like desperately wants to play a real game, like trying to get bases, trying to get upgrades, but the army count is so far behind. I mean, Protoss is maxed out and Terran's at 90 food. Oh, there's a recall over here. Mostly Zealots, but there's just not very much here for Terran after all of the bullying that has occurred in this game. Starports are going down. Factories are going down. The armories are in jeopardy. And, like, the recall might not even be able to be cleaned up here. Like, not without totally abandoning all the other fronts on the map. And mawthu taps out in our first and only 2-game series of the night. Simon claims a victory. And that is going to bring Tier 2 of this match 3-1 in favor of the Crane Mechanics. You love to see it. Alright, and that was our cast for today. I'm exhausted. That was almost 4 hours. That's what we get. We have so many players in this tournament. We have so many games. That being said, I really appreciate you all watching. We had a lot of viewers tonight. I'm going to find someone to raid. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. There's going to be, I think Nightcat's going to cast at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And then we're doing the official cast at 7. So make sure you tune in for that. Thanks for following Mazer14. And then I am going to find someone to raid. Let's see who is on. There's Crossy, but he's always doing fastest, man. Do I know any of these? Oh well. No, we'll do scan. All right. What? It's invalid username. Are you serious? Sorry, guys. I gotta figure out how to raid. What are you? No. What are you talking about? Hold on. Come on. Nope. All right. Well, we can't raid this guy. Well, I guess we'll just raid Cross again, even though he's doing fastest. All right. Thanks, guys. Sorry about the awkward ending here.